but not alone this time. With BJ Walters, David Pearl, thanks for joining us on Jamestown 107.1, on newsdakota.com, the app, on Alexa, all the ways you can listen online, and also on the Heritage Signal of I3G Media in Jamestown, and that's 1400 AM. Those of us who were here earlier are still trying to get over the shock of what happened earlier today in case you missed it. If you did, well, I'm sorry you did, because it was an incredible match, but not in the end for the Jamestown Jimmies. William Carey University came from 2 sets down to stun the third-ranked Jimmies and eliminate them from the NAIA volleyball tournament. But the change is being made over to basketball, and that's what we will focus on with Northern State in. And for the Jimmies, a chance to play at home against... You're going against Division II athletes. You're going against a pretty interesting team here tonight. But a chance to play one at home and try to have, and there's been good play in all their games, but just to try to keep it more consistently in the same game. That's their goal here tonight.
And really, if you take away the start on Thursday night, they probably win the basketball game against a team that is undefeated right now at the Division II level. Say what you will about their schedule, still undefeated. And if you take away the beginning of that game, I would say they outplayed Minot State. Certainly you got a great game from Jimmie despite that straight play early in the second half. And then, you got a box score that honestly I think you would take in most North Star games going forward. Jimmie gets you 14 on 7 of 9 shooting. You get what you always get from Silas. You get 3 guys in double figures. I think a box score like that will win a lot of North Star games.
You get Anthony Walters coming back after a very difficult day in Sioux Falls to have a big game with 18, although Minot State did do a pretty nice job defensively on Owen Heckner and really held him down. Well, the Jimmies know, and they like to play at a fast pace. They know they're going to see it. And I'll say this right away about Northern State. Yeah, they're 1-3, but don't let that record fool you. They've had a really tough early season schedule and coming off a very good win at home, which is a tough place to win, as you well know, on Tuesday night against Dakota State behind a big game from James Plain.
And this is a team that for 13 now consecutive seasons has led Division II in attendance. That tells you what, well, first off, what's the recruiting pitch in Aberdeen? Hey, Aberdeen's beautiful, and you're not going to see a whole lot of bleachers during games because they're full. But you know what? This is a program that is consistently top half of the NSIC. It's a good barometer game for the Jimmies. It's not that long ago, 2018, Northern State was playing for the national championship. So this is a really nice test early in the season before the Jimmies go down to Sioux Falls and face some really big tests later this week.
And Northern State has a guy who can coach, and that's Saul Phillips, as he is well proven in the past, and he's got good things going. He's got a couple of NSIC championships with this program. Remember when North Dakota State went into prominence in the 20-teens? That was Saul Phillips. I'm sure you remember that very well if you are a Bison fan. This is the S&P L5A Maria pregame as the Jimmies and the Northern State Wolves warm up. First meeting between these schools in basketball in 7 years as Jamestown tries to snap a pretty long losing streak. In fact, it is way long. It's 14 games. These teams played in the Dakota Athletic Conference 97 through 14 straight times. It was a Dakota State win, Northern State win, I should say. You've got to go back to, and I promise I wasn't around for this, the last game of the 1947-48 season for the last time Jamestown beat Northern State in men's basketball, 31-18 series.
Oh my!
That's a few years ago.
And 31-18. Oh my goodness, I had to chuckle at that. But the lack of three-point shooting in that 31-18 game will be more than made up for. That's the series
record, I mean.
Or yeah,
that's the all-time series record. That was not the score in 1948, but it wasn't a whole lot more than that.
But well, probably not. Yeah, the lack of three-point shooting in that last Jimmie's win over Northern State, we will more than make up for it tonight. I would say, David, between these two teams, we're going to see 50 shots from beyond the arc easily.
I think at least, yeah. The President of the United States was Harry Truman the last time the Jimmies beat Northern State in men's basketball.
I'll bet one team was wearing a black uniform, the other one a white uniform.
I would think so. Well, the Jimmies say that's about enough time for that. One team is wearing a black uniform, and that's Northern State, and the Jimmies are wearing white, so some things don't change. Neither does the S&P Health Ave Maria pregame show. Neither does the fact that not only will we talk about the NSAA, but we'll talk about the NSIC, where these Jimmies will play next year. We'll do that next. Also, our pregame visit is ahead with head coach Casey Brueggemann, and a little bit of a recap, in case you missed it, of the stunner in volleyball earlier today. It's all ahead from Harold Newman Arena. Settle in for an evening of basketball with us. Jamestown and Northern State coming up for you right here on Jamestown 107.1, and this is the voice of the Jimmies.
The Frontier Fort invites you in for a true Dakota Territory dining experience. This unique location looks like an authentic 1800s fort. Head upstairs and you'll be greeted with the mouth-watering aroma of freshly grilled ribeyes and barbecued ribs. They're open from 4 to 9 Monday through Saturday, and their legendary prime rib is served on Fridays and Saturdays. Now hiring a full-time or part-time cook. Call 252-7492. The Frontier Fort, on the road to the Buffalo, Jamestown.
Otter Tail Power Company would like to remind you about the importance of high school athletics in the lives of children. Those extracurricular activities play a role in the education and development of those kids involved and provide a way for kids to learn some of life's most important lessons. Lessons that'll take them through life with a sense of accomplishment and pride. Otter Tail Power Company would like to salute those athletes, coaches, and fans who make every season one to remember.
Two Rivers Activity Center in Jamestown is hiring. Do you like interacting with people? Do you enjoy a fun, upbeat atmosphere and a clean workspace? If so, the perfect opportunity awaits you at Track. They're currently hiring for a variety of part-time positions for lifeguard and guest service and wellness attendants. They'll work with your existing schedule, whether you already have another job or are a college student. Check out trackjamestown.com to learn more about these positions and how to apply today.
Where do you find the friendliest staff, largest selection, lowest prices, and the freshest produce? Hugo's in Jamestown. But what if you can't go to the store? Hugo's Family Marketplace offers online shopping. You can shop all the departments and all the sales at GoHugos.com. Choose pickup or Hugo's delivery service, and they'll do the in-store shopping for you. Hugo's Family Marketplace online shopping at GoHugos.com.
You're gonna find more. You go to Hugo's.
Jamestown, Northern State men's basketball tonight at Harold Newman Arena. Thank you for joining us. All right, TJ, since you wanted to know the score of that game on February 20, 1948 was Jamestown 57, Northern State 43. The last time the Jimmies beat the Wolves men's basketball, 76 and over a half years ago.
I would say that that number did hit the over in Vegas.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Probably, yes.
But yeah, actually 57 to 43, that's a lot of points for the 40s.
It is the S&P Health Ave Maria pregame show. 50th meeting all time between these programs in men's basketball tonight. Well, let's look around the NSAA because we're in the early part of the season and interesting results. I'll tell you.
Yeah, in Bellevue, they're hosting a 4-team event actually last night and today. And today, Bellevue beat Nobel University from California 75 to 56. Imagine those California kids coming from the Midwest going, what is this weather?
Yeah, right.
Ozark Christian in the other game beat Dakota State 83 to 67. And we've been a little skeptical at the start for Valley City State. Now we can be a lot skeptical as a bad second half led to a 72-56 loss to Dakota Wesleyan at home. Tomorrow not tomorrow, but Tuesday, they start a event Bellevue does in Columbia, Missouri. They'll play Columbia College and Hannibal LaGrange University in their sort of Thanksgiving event.
And that's what's going on in the NSAA. Now, how about the NSIC? And, well, you know, the next action for the Jimmies is Friday against the defending national champions in NCAA Division II. That's Minnesota State. Man, a little bit of fun today.
Yeah, they've gotten off to a bit of a slow start with a tough schedule. They took advantage of having a not-so-tough game today. They beat Minnesota Morris at home 106-71. St. Cloud State beat North London College 93-43 at home. And in the second half, Minnesota Duluth leading Northern Michigan 65-56. That is a good Northern Michigan program. I know their head coach, Matt Makerzak. He was on staff at Bemidji State when I was the voice of the Beavers back in 2016-17. He's built a program nice enough where Tom Izzo played them in an exhibition a month ago.
Yep. Yeah, and that's of course that's Tom Izzo's home area too. So there's another tie there. Jimmie women stand at 4-1 after looking quite good here on Tuesday after a win over Minot State, 81-64. They next play right here at Newman Arena a week from Saturday against Midland, and then they make another trip to Montana in the first weekend of December to play Montana Western on Thursday, December 5th, and Montana Tech on Saturday, December 7th in Beach. Because of the events of earlier today, I think my plans have changed a little bit, and we just may bring you the action from that trip.
Yeah, and only one other game featuring NSAA team today. Valley City State led it after 1, led it after 2, led it after 3, lost at Bemidji State 64-61. And in the NSIC on the women's side, real good game in Duluth. Northern Michigan 65-63 over Minnesota Duluth, and St. Cloud State 72-61 over Michigan Tech and St. Cloud.
And in case you do not know the news, William Carey's Crusaders stunned the Jamestown Jimmies in volleyball today. I see Lexi Olson over there. She hasn't gotten out of her uniform, and I guess I can't blame her. But the Jimmies and everyone around them are still stunned with what happened. And as I said earlier, William Carey earned it, but they came back to beat the Jimmies in 5. 15-25, 23-25, 25-20, 25-19, and 15-8. And Olson and Ziske and Craig and Anderson and Adamson and Bunhagen and Holden especially, and Grace Hagerly and Lily Birch, a whole lot of great careers came to an end today. And understandably, there were tears shed, and there were still volleyball families standing until about 15 minutes ago over where they have been sitting with still very stunned looks on their faces.
Well, I got here about an hour ago, and there were still people just standing on the concourse here at Harold Newman Arena, not sure whether to take off, to stay for basketball. There was just a sense of shock around here.
And it's still here a little bit, but I do want to express my sincere thanks to head coach John Hagerly and his staff for the access that they gave us. And you know John, too. He's just one of the nicest people on the face of the earth. So Sarah, and it was great to deal with her this season, too. Blue Jays, by the way, ended their season with a 5-set loss to Horace for 7th place today at the state tournament. I said it to John before I did the interview with him. The Blue Jays will not be 21-20 next year. They will be better.
They certainly will. I mean, and they showed such sparks throughout the weekend, even in going 0-3. I think today, if I'm not mistaken, they were up something like 6-0 in the 5th set, and then Horace came back and won it.
Yes, sir. And by the way, our sincere thanks to our pal Brad Anderson for helping us out today. Always good to hear from one of our favorites, Brad. But it's back to basketball here, and it's Jamestown and Northern State coming up here at Harold Newman Arena. And our pregame visit with head coach Casey Brueggemann comes your way next on the SMPL Ave Maria pregame show on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Jimmies.
At Unison Bank, we provide financial solutions for customers to meet their needs today and achieve their dreams tomorrow. From personal banking services like checking accounts, mortgage, and auto loans, to business banking services. At Unison Bank, we offer financial solutions with prompt responses and quality service. Visit unisonbank.com for more information. Located in Jamestown, Linton, and Wishick, as well as Gilbert, Arizona. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender. Johnny Johnny B's Brick House, famous for their pizza, but wait, there's pasta, and their amazing wings, and fresh ground hamburgers, tasty salads and appetizers too. And for dessert, you can't beat their sweet sticks. Come on out for Tuesday night trivia and live entertainment every Thursday night. The place to be is Johnny B's, smack dab in the middle of Main Street, downtown Jamestown. And remember, for delivery and carryout, call 952-8777.
The Jamestown Country Club wants to thank you for a great season that lasted so far into the fall. It's never too early to think about next year's season, though. Hey, make it a Christmas present for that golfer in your life. Buy one today and have the best gift taken care of for the season. Contact the Jamestown Country Club at jcc58401@gmail.com and request your gift registration today. Have a happy holiday season from the Jamestown Country Club.
And again, Harold Newman Arena, our S&P Health Foundation pregame continues. Jimmie's head coach, Casey Brueggemann. We were just rehashing a little bit what happened up in Minot on Thursday night, but even though it was a Beaver win, that's a good basketball team, Casey, as you know, and your team battled to get back to within 2 when it looked like it was going to get really ugly there late in the first half.
Non-conference schedule has been no joke. Going on the road a couple times, playing good NAI opponents, playing good Division II opponents. I don't think our spirit has wavered. We're going to continue to have a growth mindset through this. Minot State, they're 5-0. Heading into that game, they're 6-0. I wouldn't be surprised if they cracked the top 25 D2 rankings. And for us to battle them and the University of Sioux Falls, both teams that I think will finish pretty high in the NSIC like we did, we are seeing areas where we can improve on. And I don't think we're firing on all cylinders yet either. And credit to the opponents that we've played that have kept us in check. But I'm excited to see what tonight brings.
When I go back to the tough day Ant had at Sioux Falls and the tough game that Owen had out in Minot, that's just going to happen. They've just got to keep shooting, right?
Absolutely. You know, Owen, they did a good job of taking him away. He's been playing extremely well after our first game. I think he's been a double-digit scorer every single game besides the Minot State game. So they really keyed on him, and that allowed Silas and Will to operate in a ball screen, allowed Jimmie to get some rolls just because of the amount of gravity that Owen and Ant were pulling away from our ball screen game. So it's going to happen. Guys got to keep shooting, going to keep working. I think if we can learn to find consistent baskets, especially early in the game. We struggled to start against Minot State, and their defense had a lot to do with it. But if we can figure out early in the game, what's working for us and drive it strong to the hoop and finish, we're going to get off to a better start for sure.
DJ and I were at the football banquet the other night, and after your game ended, he showed me the stats and said, look at Jimmie Linus' line. I said, boy, he needed a game like that, and he really did need a game like that, didn't he?
It was awesome to see Jimmie break out a little bit here in his 5th year. Kind of see what we expect out of Jimmie all year. And he's battled some injuries. He's battled some foul trouble. And the message to him has been consistent. We are a lot better when you're asserting yourself in the paint. And he certainly did that and had to battle the best rebounder in the NSIC with Van de Greet up in Minot State. And he did a heck of a job. I mean, we gave up some offensive rebounds in the first half, but we responded well in the second half. And to see Jimmie kind of come out of his shell a little bit and find rhythm, it was great to see.
That's the thing. You not only Jimmie, but everyone knows how Silas can rebound. And Ed can get in there and do it. I could go on and on. You've got guys who know how to get in there and rebound on this team.
It's a different level when you're playing some of these NSIC schools with the size that they have. And we have good rebounders, no doubt. It takes all 5 every possession against these teams. And we're learning that. We're seeing that on film. And for our guys, they're going to have to lock in against Northern State tonight, who plays a front line, no guy under 6'3", very, very gifted physically, and we're gonna have to have everyone on the glass tonight.
And the record may say 1-3, but I've already said don't let that fool you. This is a team with talent. Glenn's coming off a big game against Dakota State, and when he gets hot, he can get as hot as anybody in that league.
You look at their schedule; they went down to Missouri Western, played 2 very challenging MIAA schools, battled them well. They went out to Northwest Nazarene in Idaho, who was a team that was 17-10 last year. I mean, that's a good team that they played again on the road. And then they had to play Dakota State at home. And our fans know how good a coach Darren Tighe is down at Dakota State and how well they execute, especially early in the season with a lot of games under their belt. So to win that game by 10, I think that's showing what this Northern State team can do. With their size, with a player like Glenn, they're very, very good, and they're only going to keep getting better.
You know, they'll bring fans, and to have this team in here and renew this old rivalry from the DAC days, and in fact going back after that, this has a potentially pretty fun atmosphere in here tonight.
Love the chance to have them come here. Credit to Coach Phillips and Coach Vaughn for being willing to come and play in Jamestown. We're going to return the trip here in December, but for them to come up here, it means a lot to our community. It means a lot to our university as we're entering into the NSIC. We're going to be travel partners in the future, so this will be a fun rivalry. It's two communities that really care about their basketball teams, and they're excited about what's ahead in the season ahead. So I'm excited to see some Wolves fans here. I'm even more excited to see Jimmie fans here tonight.
Thank you, sir. Good luck this evening.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
Coming up, SMP Health Ave Maria pregame continues with the starting lineups and the opening tip from Harold Newman Arena on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Jimmies.
Why choose Professional Eye Care Centers? 3 great reasons are Dr. Bond, Dr. Freilich, and Dr. Jangula. 3 of the most educated professional optometrists you'll ever meet. Next is their many locations. You can now see one of their spectacular doctors in Jamestown, Valley City, Carrington, Edgeley, Ellendale, and Lemoore. And finally, their fantastic selection. And yes, all of their frames and lenses are backed up by warranty. Visit ProEyeCareCenters.com and make an appointment today. Professional Eye Care Centers, clearly the best.
Building a business requires strength, courage, and a solid reputation. So, when you're ready to build a building to house your business or remodel your existing business, you want the same qualities in your commercial construction contractor. And that's where Hillerud Construction comes in. Trusted, experienced builders who specialize in commercial building construction. Their experience saves you time, stress, and money. So visit HillerudConstruction.com and let's get building.
You want to make sure homework time isn't spent on games and video streaming? Dakota Central can help. With Experience IQ, you set limits to ensure your kids aren't playing when they should be doing homework. With premium managed Wi-Fi from Dakota Central, you can create healthier internet habits for your children from the easy-to-use Command IQ app. Learn more about premium Wi-Fi and Experience IQ today at dakotacentral.com.
Starting lineups brought to you by Pit Stop Express Lube for the Northern State Wolves. As Casey Brueggemann said, nobody under 6'3", but nobody over 6'7". That's why you can almost call this a 5-guard lineup. But on the front line, Toby Ubiora, 6'7", 220-pound sophomore from the Netherlands, from Bilthoven, 7.8 points, 5.5 rebounds a game. So far, 50% shooter. Ethan Russell, combo player from Aberdeen, South Dakota, 6'6", 195, redshirt freshman, went to Aberdeen Christian, played for our buddy Matt Borabach there. 6 points a game, 2.5 rebounds per game as well, and an assist and a half. Marcus Burks, a 6'4" freshman guard from Lakeville, Minnesota, 10.3 points and 5 rebounds a game, 5 assists a game, too, is tied for third in the NSIC. James Glenn, who had the big game against Dakota State on Tuesday, 34 points, 6'3", 175-pound junior from Altoona, Iowa, Des Moines Area Community College transfer. 15.8 points a game, is 6th in the NSIC, 4 rebounds, and he's shooting 51% from the floor. And Juan Abdul Karim, 6'3", 185-pound sophomore from Lincoln, Nebraska, also a Des Moines Area Community College transfer, and all he's doing is 13.3 points per game and 4.8 rebounds, but 60% shooting overall from the floor and 62% on threes. That's 13 of 21. So watch out for the threes. Saul Phillips in his 6th season at NSU. The win against Dakota State Tuesday, his 100th as the Wolves head coach. He's 149 there, and his 18th season overall, counting his years at NDSU and Ohio University, 315 and 210. Josh Vaughn is the associate head coach, and Trayvon Wright is the assistant. For the Jamestown Jimmies, Jimmy Linus in the post, the 6'8", 210-pound, fifth-year senior from Port St. Lucie, Florida, the St. Xavier University transfer, 7.8 points, 6.8 rebounds a game, 59% shooting, 8 more block shots. He needs 1 more for 100 as a Jimmie. Owen Heckner, the 6'8" junior from Fargo, the MSU Moorhead transfer, 13 points a game, 3.8 rebounds. And on the wing, Cole Glasgow, the 6'2", 200-pound sophomore from Grimes, Iowa, the Kansas City transfer, 8.2 points, 4.3 rebounds. Will Cordes, the 5'11", 180-pound, fifth-year senior from Shakopee, Minnesota, 5.7 points and 2.3 rebounds per game, 11.2 points per game in his Jimmie career, which tonight consists of his 129th game and his 121st start. And Silas Benyon, the 6'1", 186-pound senior from Eugene, Oregon, the Lewis and Clark State College transfer, 13.7 points, 4 rebounds a game, 39% on threes, 3 assists a game. That's third in the NSAA. Casey Brueggemann, the head coach of the Jimmies in his first season. The assistant, Taft Dack. The graduate assistant, Carter Jansen, or as we who are his friends call him, Chuck. Jimmy's in white. They'll shoot at the basket to our right in the first half, mainly in white uniforms. Orange numerals and letters in black trim. The orange band on the hips that says Jamestown in very nice vertical letters. Northern State in black with the maroon numerals and yellow trim and yellow and maroon bands. For broadcasters, one of the easiest road uniforms to read numbers anymore is this program.
It certainly is, yeah. I mean, you get the gold outline, and that really helps. But I do think one of the biggest keys to this one, David, obviously because of how it started Thursday, you want to get off to a better start if you're Jamestown. But you cannot let James Glenn start this game well, because if he starts it well, it's not going to stop. And I do think a big part of this game for Jamestown is going to be getting enough from guys like Cole and Jimmie to where when Anthony comes in, he's been scoring the ball very well. It maximizes the production offensively of the team together. You know what you're going to get from Silas. You pretty much know what you're going to get from Will. You need everyone else to just chip in here and there as they can.
Anthony Walters, the sixth man, is the third leading scorer in the NSAA at 15.7 points per game. So that's our SMPL Ave Maria pregame show, and it's just about time for basketball. And this ought to be a lot of fun tonight. The Jamestown Jimmies and the Northern State Wolves at Harold New Marina. If you don't have any plans, come on over. There's room for you. And we'll have the action next for you here on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Jimmies.
Whether you're a weekend warrior or a top high school athlete, injuries can happen to anyone. At Jamestown Regional Medical Center, getting you back to what you love is why we're here. As the official sports medicine provider for Blue Jay Athletics, our local orthopedic experts ensure exceptional care is part of your community. From sprains to complex surgeries, you don't have to go far to get the best care. Call 952-4878 and schedule your appointment today. Remember, it's right here at JRMC.
Some of us were born to farm. Some diesels, like Cenex Premium Diesel, were born to fuel. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn to reduce particulate matter and keep filters cleaner for longer. Fuel your equipment like a pro with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and leave typical number 2 diesel to the amateurs. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
When you're working outdoors, unpredictability is the norm, so tackle your toughest jobs with the 2025 Honda Pioneer 700. This rugged side-by-side brings power to any party with reliable torque for towing and smooth shifting for the trails. Choose between 3 trims, Standard, Deluxe, or the True Timber Forest Edition for ultimate backwoods adventures. See the 2025 Honda Pioneer 700 today at Gun and Reel Sports, 1st Street West, downtown Jamestown. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda side-by-sides are for riders 18 and older. Sign-on bonuses, $10,000 for full-time RNs or LPNs working PM or NOC shifts, and $10,000 for full-time NOC weekend package positions, and $5,000 for part-time PM shifts. Also offering $5,000 for full-time CNAs working PM shifts or weekend package, day, PM, or NOC shifts. Dietary positions available also. Apply at smphhealth.org/Ave Maria.
It's Zach here from Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness Center with exciting news that we are now open in our brand new location at 805 5th Avenue Northeast in Jamestown. That's right, we have a brand new space to help you out with your neck, back, hip, knee, shoulder pain, and so much more. It's the same great Apex you've loved, now with an incredible new space. If you haven't tried Apex, you really need to come see us. Give us a call today to come see us at 701-952-2739.
Quick Lane Jamestown is looking to add to their dynamic team of auto maintenance technicians. Business continues to grow and grow, and they need to expand their staff. Are you a mechanical soul who'd like to work in a modern, clean, and busy shop? Light-duty work includes oil changes, tire rotates, vehicle inspections, maintenance and upkeep, and more. While working alongside an experienced team, and did we mention you get to work in an air-conditioned and heated shop? Competitive wages and benefits offered. Apply online through Facebook or stoutcars.com. Call 701-252-2270 or simply stop by. Claim your career today at our
Your home for UK Jimmie. AM 1400 KQDJ Jamestown and 107.1 K296 HH Jamestown.
For BJ Walters, David Burrow, Harold Newman Arena, thanks for joining us. And here's what's ahead for the Jimmie men. Oh, we're looking forward to this. We go to Augustana University in Sioux Falls on Friday and Saturday. Yes, the 2 days after Thanksgiving. And yes, Minnesota State's Mavericks from Mankato, the defending Division II champions, are the next opponent for the Jimmies. 11:30 a.m. on Friday here in Jamestown 107.1. And then the Augustana Vikings also at the Elman Center, and that's Saturday at 12:30. And Casey Brueggemann is scheduling these sorts of games for a reason.
Absolutely. I think for several reasons. One, this is a competition in a year. Ready or not, here they come, you know. And then, you know, there's other reasons, things that he gets to work on as a coach in preparation for that. You know, from the hotel stay and getting used to playing back-to-back days to there's going to be changes with media timeouts in a Division II game. He's going to get more opportunities. And this is good for a young coach, too. You get to draw up ATOs. You get to get better at drawing up after timeout plays. When you think of the best college basketball coaches, they're usually pretty good at ATOs, so he's going to get a chance to work on that, too.
And as we told you, Casey was in the NSIC before as an assistant in Duluth. And he's been around a Division I program as director of ops at South Dakota, so it won't be completely new to him, but still it's good to get this team used to this.
And he and his brother were both really nice basketball players within the NSIC as well.
Yes,
his brother played at Southwest and pretty good player.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we've mentioned this before, Casey ripped up his knee early in his senior year, and that derailed what could have been a really good career. He was a quite good player. So we are ready, and Northern State's on the floor with their starting five of Toby Obiora, Ethan Russell, Marcus Burks, James Glenn, and Quat Abdul Kareem. And the Jimmies are out too with Silas Bengen, Cole Glasgow, Jimmy Linus, Owen Heckner, and Will Cordes. The fist bumps. We hope you enjoy the action from Harold Newman Arena. The shoe report, Ethan Russell, that's aquamarine color. It's pink and black for Will Cordes.
That is, wow, okay.
It's Marcus Burks has about 5 different colors and a McDonald's logo. Anyway, the tip won by Northern. Back to Abdul Kareem, and we're underway on this Saturday night. He ends it back to Marcus Burks into the front court of the basket to our left. If you're watching on the Jimmie Athletics YouTube channel, Northern's at the basket to your right and the Jimmies to your left in this first half. Here's Glenn with a right wing pass to Ethan Russell on the angle. 10 on the shot clock. It's back to Glenn with a distinctive headband. Threw the ball away in the right corner and out of bounds. Going for Abdul Kareem, but way behind it.
Really good on-ball defense right there from Silas. Just did not give him any space to make that pass.
All right, so James Glenn, this is how stylish he is. His headband matches where they're playing. He wore a white headband the other night at home. Has a black headband on.
That's right.
Yeah. Here's Cordes for Jamestown in their first possession. Silas Bengham, right wing on the angle. Screen by Linus. Hands it back to Cole Glasgow. Moves to the right wing outside the arc. Benyon up top. It is Will Cordes, and a handoff to Heckner on the weave. Fakes in the lane. Spins. Got to get out of that lane, Owen. And again, put up the shot and score. That was close to 3.
You got to know that feels good for Owen. It was a difficult night for him on Thursday night in Minot.
Only 1 of 7 for 2, but he's matched that already. 2-0 Jamestown, about a minute in. Ethan Russell. Top of the middle of the right wing to Marcus Burks. Steps to the right elbow. Cut off there. Back out front to Quad Abdul Kareem with a 14-footer. He's good, and this guy can shoot.
He certainly can, especially when he gets open off of a curl screen. It turns into a curl and a pin, so there's no one there to cover him.
Northern State and Jamestown. They're tied at 2 early on. Pass down low. Linus tried to jam it, but was impeded by Obiora for the game's first foul. Beautiful look.
Beautiful look by Heckner, and yeah, I like that Jimmie went up strong with the basketball right there, forcing the foul.
Jimmie is 5 of 8 at the line. The Jimmies are at 73%. The first one, no good. And that's not, these days, that's not an outstanding free throw percentage. That's the best in the NSAA among men's teams.
I see some late game situations where there's a lot of fouls, David.
Yeah. It's going to get interesting starting December 13th. Second one's good for Linus. Jamestown with their first lead They took the first lead with the first basket. Now they're back in the lead 3-2 after it was tied. He meant to say 18-23 first half. Toby Obiora hands it back to James Glenn. Linus out on him now. A switch. It's Benyon, and Glenn just dribbled the ball off his leg and out of bounds.
I tell you what, I really like the defense that Silas Benyon right now is playing on James Glenn. He's already forced 2 turnovers.
He had to be a little bit shocked when Jimmie Linus was guarding him.
I think so, yeah.
The right wing to Benyon for Jamestown. Front court about 2 minutes in. On the weave, it is Owen Heckner again. Handed to Linus at a very high post. He's forcing Obiora all the way out there. Now Heckner with a bounce inside. 8 on the shot clock. Linus right of the lane. Drives. Half hook scores.
Really strong move. He gets to his spot and goes over the right shoulder. Well done, Jimmie Linus. Good start here for the Jimmies.
5-2 is the Jamestown lead. 17:39 in the first half on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. Abdul Kareem put it down low and an easy layup for Toby Obiora.
That's the problem with fronting a big man. If a pass is good enough, it's an easy layup.
Again, big for this team in the starting lineup is 6'7", and that's what Obiora is. And he guards Linus as he takes the ball now. Top of the left wing, it is Will Cordes to the baseline. Heading for Silas, but couldn't handle the ball. Could Benyon, and rebound taking it away to Marcus Burks. One-man break. He comes to the left corner for Abdul Kareem. He stops in the lane. Right wing Glenn. Open 3. Look out. Both sides of the rim. Cordes the rebound. Glenn was just hitting them all over the place against Dak State on Tuesday night down at the Barnett Center at Walks Arena. 3 left side. Here comes Heckner off the rim. Rebound. Linus tried to knock it away from Burks. Didn't. It's out of bounds to Northern State.
Yeah, on that play at the other end, Glenn gets open in the corner, but that is said to be the lowest percentage three-point shot out there, and sure enough, he misses his first one.
And it's in. Anthony Walters, 6'3", 225-pound junior from Rosedale, New York. That's Queens, New York. 15.7 points, 3.3 rebounds a game, 42% on threes. And Hunter Lyman, the 6'8" senior from Fargo, the VCSU transfer, the former Crookston player, too. Obiora, hand off to Glenn for Northern State, who looks for their first lead. They're down 5-4. A spin by Russell outside the arc left side, down to 8 to shoot. Drives on Heckner, got away with an extra step, missed the shot, gained the rebound, got fouled. Well, he traveled. They didn't call it. And here's another Hunter Lyman foul. He's had a hard time staying out of foul trouble so far.
Really nice job early on in that possession by Owen, because he actually, you and I could see it, he got beat and was quick enough to recover and get to his left foot quick enough to cut off the lane, and that's what caused, as you said, what looked to be an extra step.
Ethan Russell, 2 for 2 at the line. This club hasn't been so good so far, only 63%. That's 10th in the NSIC, but the first one's good here for Russell, and it's a tie game at 5. 285 D2 teams, they're tied for 250th in foul shooting early on. 63% is not going to help you. Russell's second, however, is good. He hit them both, and Northern State has their first lead. 6-5 over Jamestown. 16-20 in the half at Harold Newman Arena in the first half on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. Heckner brings it out front. Anthony Walters with his first touch tonight, guarded by Marcus Burks. Driving on him, then on Obiora, and into the right corner for Will Cordes. He tries to ward off Russell, stuck his elbow out, but Russell knocked it out of bounds. Boy, I'm surprised with all the offensive fouls getting called that Will didn't get called for one there.
He definitely extended. Once you see the extension, that's usually where you see the calls.
And the inbounds pass knocked out by Glenn. But yeah, with the way they're emphasizing that in all levels early in the season, it's not what it does.
Certainly is there, yeah.
Cordes right baseline to inbound again to Anthony Walters. Burks out to hound him again. Lyman a screen, backs up, lost the ball. Good D by Marcus Burks. And here comes James Glenn on the run for Northern. Out front to Burks. Boy, that's solid defense by Marcus Burks. Now we'll try to finish it. Cut off well by Lyman. And back out front to James Glenn. They reset the offense. Lyman tapped an entry pass inside. Put it ahead to Heckner. It's a turnover. Jamestown front court. Handed back to Cole Glasgow. Left wing Heckner open for a moment. Now Russell a hand in his face. Heckner driving again all the way to the goal. Little roller, didn't fall. Gained his own rebound. That missed. Lyman grabbed it for a third chance for Jamestown. Left wing Cordes, 3. Took the pass from Walters. Too long. And the rebound by Northern State by Ethan Russell.
Good idea to kick it back out off the second offensive rebound. Off the first one, you'd like to see a stronger finish.
Lyman really hustled to gain that offensive board he had. Obiora for Northern. To Glenn, middle of the right wing. Abdul Kareem, look out. Long three, no good. They're just going to keep firing and just get used to us saying it. Rebound Glasgow for Jamestown. Cole, right lane line. Stops, goes, fires, misses. Rebound, tip to Heckner. Left wing Walters. Open, 3, bottom. Abdul Kareem got to him too late.
He's a 42% three-point shooter. If you're Northern State, I understand it's a scramble off of an offensive rebound. You can't leave him open.
8-6 Jamestown, the second lead change. 5.5 minutes in. Good start to this one. Burks, right wing Abdul Kareem. What? Is to the baseline, cut off well. Back out front to Burks, 10 on the shot clock. Russell left wing, 3, he's good.
Not bad defense by Owen at all on that one, Owen Heckner, but just a better shot.
They shoot 34% on threes early on. 9-8 Northern State, 14:09 in the half on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. Walters left wing angle, driving on Burks again, all the way to the goal. Burks blocked it. Another big defensive play by Burks. Rebound by Glenn. Right wing Abdul Kareem open. Spot up 3 on the run, no good. Hunter Lyman the rebound for Jamestown. And Walters brings it down the right alley. With a 1-point NSU lead, we'll have 6 subs at the next dead ball. It is Heckner in the lane with a drive that's off the rim, and the rebound is handed to Abdul Kareem, and Northern State, Saul Phillips wants a 32nd Billerud construction timeout, which we will also take. 13:38 first half at Newman Arena. Northern State 9, Jamestown 8. Jamestown 107.1, and this is the voice of the Jimmies.
You know you don't really want that hurry-up, bought on the cheap, not sure what I got insurance coverage. Good, because Farmers Union insurance agents do things just a little different. We'll work with you personally for home, auto, business, or farm insurance and tailor the exact coverage plan you need, because we're not satisfied until you are. Different, you bet. Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
Good luck to the Blue Jays and Jimmies from your local Farmers Union agent, Steve Benyon.
Not all products underwritten by Farmers Union Insurance.
Both teams have started with 3 field goals. Jamestown 3 of 10, Northern State 3 of 7. Both teams have hit a 3. The rebounding is 6 to 5. It's pretty even over the first 6:22, and that's why it's 9-8 Northern State. And really, that's kind of a timeout by Saul Phillips that is a bit of a D2 timeout. They're used to getting the under 15.
Sure.
They're not getting it, so he calls it right there. Gets 6 new players between the 2 teams into the game.
And we'll tell you about them all. Mike Neal, this is a good player, a second-year player for them, a junior from Fargo Cheyenne, 6'7", 205 junior is into the game. Caleb Mitchell, he's a 6'10 junior. There's the size they have. From Fountain, Colorado, Adams State transfer, 6.8 points a game. Niall averages 4.3. Aiden Stainbrook, the 6'6 redshirt freshman from Pembina, has entered for Jamestown. Spencer Barr, the 5'11 sophomore from Aberdeen, South Dakota, too. Jimmie Linus is back in. Silas Benyon is back in. Full court pressure by the Jimmies. As Abdul Kareem brings it up the floor, and a little touch foul, and Anthony Walters said, "What did I do?" But he has his first and Jamestown's second.
You don't want to foul 65 feet from the basket. I know he doesn't feel like he did a lot, but that's one of those cheap ones you don't want to get.
From the backcourt, it's Neal inbounding here to Marcus Burks. Left wing to Quad Abdul Kareem. The brace on his right knee. Back out front to Burks with a screen set by Nyhall. Driving on Stainbrook. Starts again. Nearly lost the ball. 13 on the timer still. Neal. Middle of the right wing, Abdul Kareem. 8 to shoot now. Walters all over Quad Abdul Kareem to the right corner. Now out front again to Neal with 2 on the timer. 1 lost the ball. Good D by Jamestown. Silas Benyon takes it away.
Beautiful defensive possession.
Noah Baca is also entered, by the way, for Northern State. 6'3 graduate student from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Driving to the left baseline is Benyon. Foul on the floor. He's held. And Jamestown will inbound. This one is on Noah Baca of Northern State.
And Silas draws that one by just a little hesitation to the right. Then he takes off to the left hand and beats him to the spot.
Each team now with 2 team fouls. 12:52 in the half. Northern State 9, Jamestown 8. Barr with a hand back to Benyon. Great move pass. 2 in. Jimmie jam. Jimmie Linus.
All it takes is one false step by the big man on that pick and roll, and Jimmie gets a 2-hand flush.
Oh, what a sweet assist that was. 10-9, it is Jamestown back in front. 4th lead change already. Hook in the lane. Missed nearly everything by Mitchell. Grazed the glass. And the rebound to Ant Walters.
Well done, Jimmie, defensively.
3-pointer Barr. Spencer's good. His 5th of the year. He's 5 for 10 on threes. And it's 13-9. That's the longest Jamestown lead at 4. 12:09 first half, and the Jimmies. Now the shooting's coming around, but a spirited start tonight. Baca up top to Caleb Mitchell for Northern State. To Nyhall with using a Mitchell screen. Pembina still trying to guard and puts up a shot from 19 that misses. Jimmie Linus is in with a Jamestown rebound. Silas Benyon directing a little traffic as with a left-hand dribble. Uses a high ball screen by Linus. Bounce corner, left wing. 3 by Barr. I think got a little deflected. Anyway, it missed. Rebound by Abdul Kareem, and on the runner, Northern State. Abdul Kareem with a lob pass down low. Layup, good. That is Mitchell.
And that is impossible to guard, really, because that's a pick and roll from 12 feet. You just don't see that very often.
And well, with the guy that Mitchell's size, 6'10", they can certainly use it. 13-11, Jamestown with the lead in the ball on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. 11:15 in the half. Benyon bounce Linus left lane line, and reaching around him and reaching in for a foul is Mike Neal, the former Cheyenne Mustang, with his first and team foul number 3.
And James Glenn is going to come back in, mainly because Northern State has missed 3 of their last 4 shots.
The inbound will be by Spencer Barr, left baseline. The bucket 2 hour left. And Walters in the corner. Anthony backs out the dribble. And there's plenty of pink with yellow laces in his shoes. A 3 on the way by Stainbrook missing. And up there for the rebound is Caleb Mitchell for Northern State. These teams will play again in mid-December in Aberdeen. Looking forward to that Monday night. Burks in the lane, down the right lane line. Walters trying to defend him. Burks moves his way around him. He traveled, sure did. That's great D again by Anthony Walters.
Fantastic defense, especially considering he's already on a foul. He knows he can't use his hands, so he just bodies him up and forces the travel. Great job.
That's 5 turnovers now in Northern State. The Jimmies have 2. 10:36 in the half. 13-11 Jamestown with the lead on the ball over the Wolves. Linus out front to Anthony Walters again. Burks, that good defender coming out to guard him. Uses a screen, stops left lane line, middle, back out front to Barr. 9 on the shot clock. Walters open for a moment. Now it's a Stainbrook 3 from the left corner. Rolls around the rim, no good. Linus offensive board, counted with a foul. Jimmie just outreached Burks and drew the foul, and the Jimmies are up 4, and that's 7 already for Jimmie Linus.
And that is a very nice offensive rebound. Jimmie does all of his work before the ball ever got to the rim, and then with the way that it fell down, it was just such a perfect follow-up for Jimmie.
He split a couple of free throws earlier and has one here to make it a 5-point lead. He's good. That's now the longest Jamestown lead, 16-11, 10-14 in the first half.
Well, mission 1 accomplished because they wanted to get off to a better start than they did Thursday. They certainly have done that.
Let's say so. Glenn in the left corner, back out front. It comes ball fake. Now a good move by Nyhall to the glass. Got fouled before he followed with a big jam. Jimmie Linus with his first. Team foul number 3 on Jamestown.
So you send a guy who is 1 for 9 from the free throw line to the charity.
Yeah. Well, actually, he's 4 for 4. He's 1 for 9 on 3.
1 for 9 on 3.
Yeah, this is one of the few foul shooters that's been good on this team, and he all hit it.
That does make more sense.
Yeah.
If you're 1 for 9 on a free throw, you're either Shaq or a member of the mid-2000s Texas Longhorns.
Burks is 7 for 14. Obiora is 7 for 17. Most of the other guys are good.
Sorry, I had to.
I understand. Heckner's back in. Glasgow, Lyman, Cordes, second free throw. They're both good for Neal. And Northern State's 4 out of 4 in the line after we've been maligning their foul shooting. Ethan Russell's back in for Mike Neal. 16-13 Jamestown, 9:59 left first half. Let's, when we get a moment, set Northern State. We just set the Jimmie 5 for you, but Cordes is into the front court. Middle of the left wing, it is Cole Glasgow. Spins once and twice. Baseline trying to work on Baca and drew a foul on Noah Baca, and that's 2 on him quickly.
And he fouled him about 3 times. They finally got fed up and said, look, if you're going to keep doing it, we have to call it.
So he's out, and Quad Abdul Kareem, who probably figuring a little longer rest than this, is back in. Cordes will inbound, and into the left corner for Benyon. They're trying to trap every time now. And a bounce to Lyman. Oh, Benyon regained it somehow and stayed in bounds somehow and got it back to Lyman. Wow. Cordes, top of the right wing, 7 on the shot clock. A handoff again from Heckner to Cordes. 4 and 3. Fade away by Will. Short, tough shot. But the rebound went right into the hands of Heckner, and he scored.
Well, he's not going to get an assist, but you could give an assist to Hunter Lyman on that play. He tipped the ball right to Heckner.
They might give him a rebound and an assist. They might. We'll see. Anyway, Mitchell with the ball for Northern State. They should give him both. 18-13 Jamestown, 9:05 in the half. Pass for Mitchell. Lyman with the assignment to guard him. A hand on it by Glasgow and took it away. Front court, 2-on-2. Glasgow kicked it out. Left wing Benyon. Open 3, missed everything. But it is grabbed by Glasgow. Down low by Heckner, and he drew a foul. And Northern State standing around there, Beach.
Yeah, that, first off, on that drive, and then you have the cutter coming down the lane, that's the first time I've ever seen a pass from that situation go outside for a 3. I think that really messed Northern State up defensively.
Yeah, but Saul Phillips can't like what he just saw. That you can't stand around like that against anybody.
11-7, the rebounding edge for UJ right now.
Owen Heckner with the first free throw, now 13 of 19 for the year.
And no disrespect to the Jimmies when I say this, but just look at the guys on the court. You should not be out-rebounding Northern State.
No. Obiora's back in. He's a good rebounder at 6'7" and 5.5. Maybe to help with that. They're both good for Heckner. The Jimmies are 4 or 5 at the line. Heckner has 6. 20-13. Hello there. The Jamestown lead is 7. 8:44 in that. February 20th, 1948. And there's a long way to go. Here is Burks down the left baseline. Holds it. Counts on him. Now finds Glenn. Glenn under the bucket. Bring it top of the right wing. Abdul Kareem's open. He's going to shoot. Oh, he missed everything, and it's out of bounds to Jamestown.
That is all Owen Heckner flying out. Not to block it, but to do exactly what he did. Create confusion within the shot.
Some of these possessions have been awfully scrambly on offense for Northern State.
They're only shooting 36%.
Lyman and a very high post. Hands it off to Will Cordes for Jamestown. They look for a 9 or 10-point lead. And it is Glasgow just saving it from going to the backcourt, and Benyon with a nice catch. Right corner, Cordes open. Down low, Lyman drives, scores. You talk about a scrambling possession, but boy, it worked for the Jimmies.
How on earth are they so composed on a scramble to go out wide, get a defender to fly at you, and then toss it inside for a lay-in?
It's Jamestown by 9, 22-13, 7:48 in the half. Russell up top for Northern State. With a pass in the lane, driving, counted with a foul. A good move by Obiora for his second bucket.
And the second foul, I think, on Hunter Lyman. Yeah, it is.
Team foul number 4 on Jamestown, and that's going to bring Jimmie Linus, who has shaved his mustache, I've noticed, back into the lineup.
And keep in mind that Jimmie's already got a foul, so if I'm Northern State, I'm calling whatever post up I've got in the book right now to try and get the other big man in foul trouble.
Obiora is 7 of 17, as we say, one of the ones who struggled. Oh, it looked like they're way short. Rebounded, Owen Heckner in Jamestown. And it's used first missed at the line. They hit their first 4. 22-15 Jamestown, 7.5 minutes in the half. Will Cordes lobs it left corner. Open, a 3. Glasgow off the left rim and short. Marcus Burks brings down the rebound for Northern State. Right wing Abdul Kareem into the lane, cut off by Glasgow. Now Obiora with a drive over Linus. Banks misses, rebound way up there is Glasgow. We talked about in the pregame, they got guys who can rebound. Glasgow all the way to the other end, but a little too hard, a bad angle and off the rim, and good D too, and Obiora rebounded for Northern State. Glenn back to Obiora for the Wolves. Handed to Marcus Burks with Cordes getting a little too tight with the D and a little bit of a bump. And Will's first foul and the 15th foul on the Jimmies.
Yeah, I will say, David, I love the sharpness that Jamestown is playing with offensively. Every pass is sharp. Every cut is sharp. Right now, you can tell they're viewing this in very high regard because their sharpness is just right on point.
The shooting percentage isn't great, but I get what you mean. Bounce. It is Obiora on the right block. Double teamed, and the man from behind Glasgow took it away. Down floor to Benyon for Jamestown. Spot up 3 on the fast break is money. And it is a 10-point Jimmie lead, and it is a timeout for Northern State. Hillebrew Construction timeout. How do you do? Benyon's first 3, 6:33 in the half, and you're hearing me right. Jamestown 25. Northern State 15. It is still early. Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Jimmies.
And here we are. North Dakota winter has arrived, and so has winter driving. The tires that were okay for hot, dry pavement are maybe not working so great on frozen, slick roads. Now, are they? Bring your vehicle to Mike and the crew at Pit Stop Express Lube and have them take a look. As a locally owned shop, they are more about you and your family's safety than the sale, so they will recommend the best fit for your needs. Stop into Pit Stop Express Lube at 117 4th Street Northwest, Jamestown, or call 952-7867.
David, Jamestown leads 25-15 over Northern State with 6:33 to go in the first half. Talk about making the most of opportunities. Northern State has turned the ball over 7 times. Points off turnovers are 14-0 Jamestown.
Of a lot of stats that stand out, that's the one that does the most. The Jimmies are still not having a great shooting percentage, 39% on 9 of 23. They are 3 of 10 and 3s, 4 of 5 of the line, but Northern State's only at 39%, and they're 46% for the 4 games this season coming in.
And 10 shots less because of all the turnovers.
Yeah.
And all of the offensive rebounds. 6-1 offensive rebounds for the Jimmies.
Yeah, that is a trend that the Jimmies would love to see continue. Full court pressure again. Glenn to Abdul Kareem, and now to Marcus Burks, and now the Jimmies back off. I don't think Northern State expected this. Down 10, 6:23 in the half. Toby Obiora at a high post, foul away from the ball.
That's the last one to give in the half for the Jimmies.
Silas Benyon's first. Yeah, in fact, each team has 16 fouls. with 6:19 to go in the first half.
Just resetting the shot clock to 20 right there.
Now it's in to Ethan Russell. Top of the right wing, Toby Uliora. Now to Marcus Burks. Down the left lane line. Blocked. Linus. There's number 100 for him as a Jimmie. It's out of bounds to Northern State, but a milestone block for Mr. Linus.
And just kind of did it casually. Just really nicely done.
Yeah, just reached up and said, okay. I'll swat it away. Left corner baseline, Glenn. Short with a shot and a battle for that rebound. Marcus Burks knocks over Will Cordes and says, what? But the official said, on you, and it's the 1-1.
And it's 2 fouls on the outstanding Marcus Burks, the freshman from Lakeville South, Minnesota.
Lakeville South High School. A defender with a whole lot to get after him. Now here's the size back in. Caleb Mitchell comes in for Burks, who's still talking to the official about that call.
And Will is a good free throw shooter, 13 out of 14 in the early going.
80% for his career as a Jimmie. 4 out of 5 are Jamestown at the line so far tonight. They're up 10 on Northern State with 6:08 in the half, 25-15 on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. Front end, good for Will's first point. He moved the other night into 13th on the all-time scoring list for this program.
Gave it to the wrong team. Come on, home scoreboard.
Passed to his old teammate Woodford the other night. He was 14th. They're both good for Cordes. It's 27-15 for Jamestown. 6 minutes left in the half. Long way to go, as I say. Russell for Northern State. Deflected, still came back to Abdul Kareem. Jimmies are getting hands on entry passes too. Abdul Kareem handed back to James Glenn. Drives up and under. It didn't fall.
He's still scoreless.
He is. Rebounded for Jamestown by Owen Heckner. Down floor it is Glasgow. Dish it to Linus. Stepped on the baseline, out of bounds.
A little too deep on that dish off. No problem. But, I mean, to your point, David, the hands are in the passing lane. And they're in the passing lane while they're switching everything on all screens. That makes it really hard.
Just the 3rd turnover in the first 14 and a half minutes on the Jimmies, who have full court pressure again. Into Glenn. Benyon still on him. Everybody else is backed off. Glenn, left-handed dribble into the front court across the orange and black U logo. Glenn, dish it in the left corner for Obiora. Now a left wing 3 by Ethan Russell. There is miss. Boy, Northern State is as cold as the weather. Silas Benyon the rebound for Jamestown. A 12-point Jimmie lead with 5:12 in the half. And a drive all the way to the rim. Benyon with a pretty left-handed layup.
And he scores it over the much bigger Obiora. Just fantastic offense right there from that left wing area.
That's typical for Benyon. He's never been afraid to go against players smaller than he is. Just knocked the ball into the backcourt. Glenn has to go back to pick it up. 29-15 Jamestown. 4:45 in the half. Glenn, show and go drive, and there is a nice bucket for his first 2 in the lane. And
Look at
down
how,
floor, and the pass behind. Heckner from Glasgow didn't quite reach him, and Abdul Kareem picked it up.
I was going to say, look how quickly Jamestown's back down the floor, and then too much hands right there by Owen Heckner.
And that is a foul on him, and that is his first. And that puts Northern State into the bonus for the rest of the half with team foul number 7.
Right now, there's going to be a lot of questions that Saul Phillips is going to be asking his guys at halftime because they're shooting 33%. They're one of their last 7 from the field. Toby Obiora is out. Mike Niehol's back in. Anthony Walters back in for the Jimmies for Cole Glasgow. Abdul Kareem, he's 4-4 at the line. He's just a good shooter. From North Star High School in Lincoln, was a teammate of Glenn at Des Moines Area Community College, and Saul Phillips said, hey, I like you too. Front end of the 1-and-1, rolled off, rebounded by Walters. Quad, I'm trying to talk you up big, man, and you missed one. Benyon into the front court for Jamestown. 29-17 is the Jimmie lead. Right wing, a Heckner 3. He's open, but it rimmed off, and in there for the rebound is Abdul Kareem. Even the missed shots are coming within the flow of the offense. Really good.
No, they're not forcing anything. You're right. Glenn, left wing, Benyon all over him. Into Mitchell, drives right over Linus and scores, and that's a tough matchup for Jimmie.
It certainly is, especially because Jimmie did the show and recover on the screen. He was late getting back.
29-19 Jamestown at 3:54 in that. Benyon open, left wing three, count it with a foul! He got knocked down by Neal. He has a chance for a 4-point play.
Just such a smooth looking shot by Silas. My goodness. And Saul Phillips is reaching deeper into his bench because he's a little frustrated right now.
Well, this, whatever combination isn't working. Devin Brook, a 6'7", 230-pound sophomore from Queen Creek, Arizona, who's played 4 games but has only 3 points. State champion at his school of Arizona. 4-point play. Benyon, oh, it's too long. And it's rebounded by Ethan Russell for Northern State. But Jamestown leads 32-19. 3:43 and a half. Glenn with Benyon out to meet him. Double team. Mitchell open right wing. This is Brook with a 3. It didn't go either. 1 of 7 on 3s now for Northern State. Benyon the rebound. Well, they were falling against Dak State, but not tonight. Benyon fell. How'd he keep the ball and dribble? I don't know, but Heckner drives to the baseline after the pass and then threw the ball over the rim. And very good D2 by Brook. Rebounded by Ethan Russell. Down floor to Glenn, 3:15 and a half. Glenn, entry pass, knocked down by Walters. Down floor is Benyon for Jamestown. Drives on Russell and stripped the ball away from him. Went to the basket stanchion hard. Benyon regained the ball back and got fouled. How did Silas stay with that ball? It's a foul on Northern State. On Brook is his first.
Silas got a little too deep, had to just throw the ball up, and then, look, he's good at a lot of things. Being tall is not one of them, and yet he gets the rebound. That's outstanding. It's the first foul on Devin Brook.
19th foul, but it is a shooting foul, so Benyon has 2. Missed a moment ago trying to convert the 4-point play, but 2 more here for Benyon. Now 9 of 14 for the year. First one rolls off just a little too hard. Looks again for his 9th point. Got a real scoreboard with 3:06 left in the first half. Says Jamestown 32, Northern State 19. 1 more for Benyon. Good. I'm going to say again as Marcus Burke comes back in, don't let this 1-3 record for this team fool you. It's not the best start, but as Casey Brugman said on pregame, they played very tough competition. Yeah, they're not big, but on nights when they shoot the ball hot, they're going to win games in that league. Play is stopped before the ball comes inbounds to remedy something. I don't know what, but here we go. Jamestown has already beaten 1 D2 team. That was the University of Marion. Yes, they have struggled. This would be something else again, but again, a long way to go. Marcus Burks back in there with 2 fouls, so and Saul Phillips, he feels like he has to take a chance with it here. To Abdul Kareem, back on the Burks, left wing of 3. Glenn on the angle, short again. Rebound, Jimmie Linus, make it 1 of 8 on 3s for Northern State, and they're coming up short on a lot of them already.
And Glenn, a good 3-point shooter, has not made one.
Left wing, a big dish out to Heckner, 3 rimmed off. Benyon with a good pass to him, but the rebound for Caleb Mitchell for Northern State. 2:25 and a half, 33-19 Jamestown. Glenn, a dish. Where was he throwing that ball to? Because there wasn't a teammate anywhere close. Linus stolen. Down floor, it's Walters. Up top, Benyon. Silas sets a screen, or Linus sets a screen for Silas. Handed off to Heckner. Back up top to Anthony Walters. Middle of the right wing, Cordes on the angle. And here is Linus on the right baseline. 2:05 and a half. Trying to drive on Mitchell. Again, a tough matchup, both sides for Jimmie. Still drives on him, hooks over him and scores.
Jimmie Linus playing a very confident first half here tonight, David, and 35-19. My goodness.
That's 10 points for Jimmie. And he's got his share of rebounds, 2. He has 3. Devin Brook for Northern State. Left baseline for Burke. A 16-point Jamestown lead. You heard us right. What a job by these Jimmies so far, especially defensively. That's the main reason they're so far ahead. Abdul Kareem drive in a double team. No, sir. See, they just made me sound good. Linus the rebound. This team is after it defensively tonight. Really the best they've been all season. Even better than I think the UMary game or the other game that they won against Montana Western. Right wing, Walters 3 coming off the left rim. Wide open but missed. Rebound for Brook.
I'm Glad you said wide open because, again, a great shot within the flow of the offense.
1 minute to go in the half. Northern State with it down 16. Up top to Marcus Burks. A drive on Walters. Right down the middle of the lane and a monster dunk. Woo!
Going up against two players who have a foul and don't want to pick up the second one, he puts it down with some authority.
35-21, Jamestown, 43 seconds. Benyon trying to answer with a three off the right rim. Abdul Kareem with a loose ball on the rebound.
They went 2 for 1 on that possession. Yep.
Because there are 8 more seconds on game clock than shot clock. Game clock now says 30. Brook, left baseline, Mitchell, backing down on Linus, shoots over him and scores. That's 6 in the post for Mitchell. Jimmies do have one more possession. 19 in the half. They're up 35-23 on Northern State.
Make sure you get a good shot going into the locker room right here.
Cordes into the front court. Will bounces it to Jimmie Linus on a high post, and the pass is too hard and too low for Heckner and deflects off him out of bounds, and Northern State will have it back one more time with 6.5 seconds to go in the half, and Noah Baca re-enters, and Aiden Stainbrook and Cole Glasgow re-enter for Jamestown for the last 6.5.
And if you get a 3 here and you cut it to single digits, you're feeling phenomenal if you're Northern State, considering how this has gone.
Well, and it's mainly because of Jamestown's defense. They just haven't played well. The score really reflects how this game has gone. It's into Baca, 4 seconds and 3. Baca to the timeline, 2, 1. He's down the right lane all the way to the rim and scored on a layup. It counts.
Oh, my goodness.
Baca went 93 feet for a layup for his first 2 of the game. Well, it's not a double-digit deficit of the half for Northern State, but after being down 16, they are within 10. But what a first half Jamestown played defensively. Halftime score on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard at Harold Newman Arena. The Jamestown Jimmies 35, the Northern State Wolves 25. The Orange Stout halftime report comes next for you from Newman Arena. Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Jimmies.
Need some custom screen printed t-shirts? Lots of t-shirts? You need originals.
Originals!
Or do you just need one shirt with your corporate logo for the new guy?
Originals!
Caps, jackets, U sizes, adult sizes, Blue Jay apparel, Jimmie apparel. You need originals. There you have it, folks. For custom printed apparel, embroidery, and work apparel, it's originals. They can also do online stores for your sports team or business. 216 First Avenue, downtown Jamestown. Open 9 to 5 weekdays. Visit originals.com.
At Essentia Health, we know that together we can live healthier. We also know that the best way to protect yourself and your loved ones is to get vaccinated. That's why Essentia Health encourages everyone to get a flu shot this fall. Flu season usually starts in October and can last until May, so it's important to get vaccinated early. Vaccines are covered by most insurances and are available for people 6 months of age and older. Schedule your flu shot online today at essentiahealth.org/flu or call your local Essentia Health clinic or pharmacy to learn more.
Buffalo City Diesel Jamestown is your one-stop shop for experienced truck services. Their top-notch techs are trained in the latest technology and can identify and fix problems in your medium or heavy-duty diesel trucks and buses. Buffalo City Diesel also offers roadside assistance, trailer services, and truck parts. Call Buffalo City Diesel today at 701-253-2844. That's Buffalo City Diesel at 701-253-2844.
Looking for a roofing company that truly knows your town? Choose Vetter Construction. Unlike those big-name competitors using our city's name, we're your community experts right here working for you. From repairs to full replacement, our trusted team delivers quality and care that you can trust. For a roof that stands strong, call Vetter Construction today. 320-1990. 320-1990.
The Frontier Fort invites you in for a true Dakota Territory dining experience. This unique location looks like an authentic 1800s fort. Head upstairs and you'll be greeted with the mouth-watering aroma of freshly grilled ribeyes and barbecued ribs. They're open from 4 to 9 Monday through Saturday, and their legendary prime rib is served on Fridays and Saturdays. Now hiring a full-time or part-time cook. Call 252-7492. The Frontier Fort, on the road to the Buffalo, Jamestown.
Jamestown Jimmies trying to do something they haven't done in several presidents, and it's beat the Northern State Wolves. They're ahead of them at the half, 35-25 at Harold Newman Arena. after leading by as many as 16. And this is the RM Stout halftime report. RM Stout, the best value since 1941. RM Stout was a relatively new dealership the last time the Jimmies played the Wolves.
Yeah, how about that?
Men's basketball with B.J. Walters. I'm David Burrow. Pretty good first half for Jimmie Linus to lead all scorers with 10. 4 of 4 shooting, 2 of 3 at the line, 4 rebounds. Block shot, his 100th as a Jimmie, and a steal in 14 minutes. Silas Benyon had 9, 3 of 5 shooting, 2 of 4 on threes, couple rebounds, couple of steals too for Silas. Typical half for him. Owen Heckner, 4 again, struggling again after going 1 of 7 on Thursday in Minot. He's 1 of 7 to start tonight. 3 for Anthony Walters, and only got 3 shots in 11 minutes off the bench, but also had a couple of rebounds and an assist. 2 for Cole Glasgow, 1 of 5 shooting, but also 2 steals and 2 assists. Will Cordes had 2, both at the foul line, and a couple of assists. And Hunter Lyman had 2 points and a couple of rebounds in just over 5 minutes of play. And also Spencer Barr, Aiden Stainbrook played but did not score. For Northern State, nobody with more than 6, and that's Caleb Mitchell, their 6'10 post player off their bench. 3 of 4 shooting, 2 rebounds in 11 minutes. Ethan Russell with 5. He had a 1 of 3 shooting. 4 for Toby Obiora on 2 of 3. Only 2 for James Glenn after his 34 points on Tuesday. He's only 1 of 5. Juan Abdul Karim only 1 of 5 with 2 points, but he also has 4 rebounds. Marcus Burks with 2. Got the 2 fouls, but never a third. And Noah Baca with that layup to end the half with 2. Northern State, and we say the Jimmies played good defense, and they did. Northern State still got it up to 40% shooting by the end of the half, but only 1 of 8 on threes and 4 of 6 at the line. Jamestown 39% on 12 of 31, 4 of 14 on threes, 10 at the line. Some of these other numbers we'll tell you about. They forced 9 turnovers on Northern State, had 5 themselves. They had 6 assists, the Jimmies did, 5 for Northern State. 6 steals for Jamestown, 2, which ain't too bad, and just the 5 turnovers. But 2 big numbers at the bottom of the stat sheet we have are way in Jamestown's favor.
Well, you mentioned the steals. There's a difference between chunking the ball out of bounds, your defense can go get set up, and having the ball stolen. Live ball, turnovers, 9 total turnovers, 17-2 points off turnovers in favor of Jamestown because they're all steals. The other big number, Jamestown has 6 offensive rebounds. They've turned into 10 second chance points. That means they've only not converted once off of an offensive rebound. Meanwhile, Northern State only has 16 rebounds for the game and only 2 offensive rebounds, and one of them was because the ball was knocked out of bounds. So actually, live ball, only 1 offensive rebound. That's why you're outscoring in second chance points 10-2.
2 times 4 lead changes. Northern State's never led by more than 1. As we say, Jamestown's largest lead was 16, but a little flurry a little bit at the end of the half brings Northern State to within 10. It's Jamestown 35, Northern State 25 at the half. Coming next on the RM Stout halftime report, we'll tell you about other Jimmy sports. On Jamestown 107.1, this is the voice of Jamestown.
Otter Tail Power Company would like to remind you about the importance of high school athletics in the lives of children. Those extracurricular activities play a role in the education and development of those kids involved and provide a way for kids to learn some of life's most important lessons. Lessons that'll take them through life with a sense of accomplishment and pride. Otter Tail Power Company would like to salute those athletes, coaches, and fans who make every season one to remember.
Two Rivers Activity Center in Jamestown is hiring. Do you like interacting with people? Do you enjoy a fun, upbeat atmosphere and a clean workspace? If so, the perfect opportunity awaits you at Track. They're currently hiring for a variety of part-time positions for lifeguard and guest service and wellness attendants. They'll work with your existing schedule, whether you already have another job or are a college student. Check out trackjamestown.com to learn more about these positions and how to apply today.
Where do you find the friendliest staff, largest selection, lowest prices, and the freshest produce? Hugo's in Jamestown. But what if you can't go to the store? Hugo's Family Marketplace offers online shopping. You can shop all the departments and all the sales at GoHugos.com. Choose pickup or Hugo's delivery service, and they'll do the in-store shopping for you. Hugo's Family Marketplace online shopping at GoHugos.com.
You're gonna find more low prices, more great stuff when you go to Hugo's.
Time at Harold Newman Arena. Jimmie's trying to pull off what to most would be a big surprise. They're leading Northern State in men's basketball 35-25. This is the RM Stout halftime report. Other Jimmie sports, and if you don't know by now, prepare to be shocked. The shocker of this day and for the last several years for University of Jamestown women's volleyball, after having a 2-set lead today over William Carey University here at Newman Arena, the Crusaders came back to win in 5 and make their way to the final site of the NAIA Women's Volleyball Championship. A remarkable year for head coach John Hegerly and his team, but a lot of players left the floor for the last time. Very sad today. Give William Carey credit. They earned it, but they just frustrated the Jimmies all throughout the day today. In other Jimmie sports, well, let's talk a little about hockey. The ACHA Division I men's team now ranks second after suffering their first loss yesterday to UNLV. That was in the Chicago showcase, and that was by a score of 2-1. And today, 1-1, they're playing Michigan Dearborn, and they are about midway through the third period in that game. Wild won in ACHA Division II men's hockey today at Wilson Arena after the Jimmies beat Bethel University last night 7-4. They lost today 8-7. The Jimmie women picked up a 6-1 win in hockey last night up in Bottineau over Dakota College at Bottineau. Jimmie men's wrestling yesterday at the Spire Duels in Leavenworth, Kansas, defeated Oklahoma Wesleyan by a margin of 34-16. Those continue today. Women's wrestling had a couple of duels at the Beaver Bash up in Minot and lost them both 22-15 to Minot State and 40-8 to Dickinson State. And the Jimmie women's swimming and diving team lost in a duel with MSU Moorhead today 208-75. Tomorrow, one more game for the Division I men's hockey team in the Chicago showcase against Arizona State. Jimmie's back on the floor to some applause, and they've earned it after having a 10-point lead at the half, 35-25 over Northern State.
Yeah, and I think, you know what, if you're Casey Brueggemann, you go in there and you say, look, keep the intensity. I don't love the last 2 minutes of that half, but for the first 18, we played really well. Do that for another half, and we're probably going to get a nice little win here.
Yep, no doubt. Jamestown Blue Jays in volleyball today, 8th in the state tournament, lost in 5 sets to Horace. We've talked about other college basketball, but I want to talk a little about college football because something most interesting happened south of our border today involving the NDSU Bison.
Yeah, they had a 11-point lead with 2 minutes to go. South Dakota scored, got the ball back, and scored with 12 seconds left to win against North Dakota State 29-28. That creates a 3-way Missouri Valley Football Conference co-championship. North Dakota State, who beat South Dakota State, who beat South Dakota, who beat North Dakota State. Right. So those are 3 of the top 4 seeds in tomorrow's selection show to go with Montana State. What's the order? Well, your guess is as good as ours at this point.
Well, people are making guesses about it, and our pal Dom Izzo still thinks, NDSU can still be the number 1 seed.
I don't think he's wrong.
I don't either.
But
we'll see.
We will see. And all of those teams will have a bye next weekend anyway.
One more note about football, and I can't say anything because the news comes out Monday, but just expect, if you follow Jimmie football, you know there'll be some players that'll be all-conference players. I can't say any more, but
that's right.
We heard about it the other night at the banquet, and our thanks to head coach Brian Mistro for inviting to us. That was one of the best nights of fun I've had in a long time.
It certainly was, and just on that note, on the note of football, Two NSIC teams advanced today. One of them was a given. Minnesota State got a walk-off field goal in Sioux Falls to beat Augustana. And then I watched a lot of this game with a vested interest. Bemidji State went down to San Angelo and beat the Angelo State Rams 24-14. They never trailed in the game. And so Bemidji State, for a second consecutive year, advances to the second round.
And out in Dickinson today, Dickinson State's Blue Hawks, the NSAA champs, scored late. They had to come from behind in the fourth quarter to defeat Kansas Wesleyan by a score of 27-20.
So the NSAA football lives one more week.
Yes, it does. Now they got to go to Dillon and play a very, very good Montana Western team.
So by one more week, we literally mean one more week.
Possibly, but we'll
that is a good Montana Western team.
It sure is.
Man.
But, Will Madler, guess what? 12-yard touchdown run with 29 seconds left for the winning score.
And everybody looks so shocked. Not really.
Second half about to begin here at Newman Arena with Jamestown ahead of Northern State, 35-25. That's our RM Stout halftime report. With B.J. Walters, David Pearl, so glad to have you here with us.
By the way, can we just bring up a team that UJ has played in men's basketball this year? Something's not right in Fargo.
No.
Because Minnesota Crookston had lost to Wisconsin Parkside, a Division III team at home.
Yeah.
Crookston lost in Fargo Thursday night by 7 points.
Ooh.
There's something not okay with Coach Richmond's team, and I think they're trying to fill so many voids left by graduations and transfers. Eventually at a small school like NDSU, a small conference school, a mid-major, you're going to run into roadblocks.
I'm thinking of the one transfer, the guy that's in Alabama now.
Yeah, you would like to have him. You would like to have Andrew Morgan, but without those guys, they are struggling. They almost lost to a team that lost to a Division III opponent. And trust me when I tell you, when we go to the NSIC, there's a couple games you can circle as guaranteed wins. Crookston's one of them.
Your home for UJ Jimmie. AM 1400 KQDJ Jamestown and 107.1 K296HH Jamestown.
Second half starters, same as the first half for both sides. Toby Obiora, Ethan Russell, Marcus Burks, James Glenn, Claude Abdo Kareem, Northern State. For Jamestown, Silas Benyon, Cole Glasgow, Jimmy Linus, Owen Heckner, Will Cordes. Start of the second half, the throw-in brought to you by RM Stout, your Ford Dodge and Jeep dealer in Jamestown. 35-25 Jamestown with the ball at the bucket. 2 hour left if you're watching at the Jimmie Athletics YouTube channel. It's to the bucket to your right. Bounce to Linus, middle of the way. Abdo Kareem swatted the ball away, but Jimmie regained it. Back up front to Cordes, 8 on the shot clock. Right wing, long three, Benyon off the back rim. A 24-footer that he shot long, and then Linus had the rebound stripped away from him. Down floor is Marcus Burks. Linus tried for a block, a follow jam by Obiora. Now it's an 8-point game.
8-0 run for the Wolves going back to the final minute 58 of the first half.
35-27 Jamestown. Heckner up top to Will Cordes. Left wing, it is Benyon. Now into the lane, it's Cole Glasgow. Trying to drive now, but Kareem, he came from behind, swatted the ball away. To Obiora, back to Abdo Kareem. Lob for Obiora, way too low under the baseline and knocked away from him by Glasgow. Nice play by Cole, and he's back into the front court. Left wing Benyon, Jimmy's on the run. Down low, Linus, Jimmie jam! 12 for Jimmie Linus.
Perfect execution of the fast break, filling the gaps within the floor, and Linus right down the middle for the two-hand flush.
37-27 Jamestown with 18:40 to go. Burks into the right corner. It's Ethan Russell. Baseline. Linus got the hand on the ball and knocked it down. He said, look, you're 6'6", but I'm 6'8". Hello. Silas Benyon for Jamestown with 18:25 to go. Lob, left wing. That is Will Cordes. Bounce on the left baseline for Linus. Trying to move on Obiora. Turns around. Half hook good. Linus knows he can do something against this guy.
Yeah, he knows Obiora just does not have the footwork to keep up with him. And right now, every time Jimmie gets the ball, he's going to that left shoulder.
14 points. He's 6 of 6 shooting. 39-27 Jamestown. 2 minutes into the second half. Abdo Kareem for Northern State to Glenn. Baseline Obiora. Bump once, bump twice with Linus. They call the foul on the second one, and that's Jimmie's second foul. You get away with one. It's like training Peyton Mastar, you know. You get away with one, but if you do it again, and no, Linus is still down.
I think Jimmie took an elbow.
Oh.
And we're not in a D2 arena, so I don't think that can go into review like it could on Thursday.
Well, we haven't mentioned this play on the air yet. Oh gosh, he
got hit. Oh, he took an elbow right to the teeth.
Well, they may not have to then look at a monitor to figure this out. And what happened, it was the start of the second half, and it was Van de Green, who, as Casey said, is such a terrific player and rebounder for them. He got originally called for an offensive foul, and they went to the video to see if it was flagrant. Well, when they went to the video, not only did they say it was not flagrant, then they called Jimmie for an invade your space violation, right?
That's a bad precedent, I have to say. To completely look at a monitor and flip who the foul is, that's a dangerous precedent we're getting into in college basketball.
It didn't used to be that way, but apparently that's been changed. And this is not going to be changed, this call either, even though the evidence is there, because, I mean, Jimmie took one to the chops, and he got the foul for his trouble, and Obiora, who delivered the hit to the chops, is standing on the line for 2 free throws.
We'll see if the old saying about ball don't lie is true.
The first good.
Guess it's not.
I guess not. 7 for Obiora, 39-28 Jamestown, 17:54 left on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard.
I mean, there wasn't even a discussion about that play a moment ago. I'm a little surprised by that.
Jimmie's shaking up the cobwebs over there, too. They're both good for Obiora. He leads Northern State with 8. 39-29, Jamestown leads NSU. 17:50 to go at Newman Arena. Glad you're with us. Look pass to Owen Heckner from Will Cordes. Middle of the left wing, Benyon. Too far for Heckner, who didn't cut to the baseline, out of bounds.
He stopped diving. He stopped right at the edge of the paint, and Silas wanted him to keep rolling to the basket, and if he did, I think it would have been a layup, and now Casey Brueggemann wants a Hillerud construction timeout.
So we'll take one, too. 17:40 left. Jamestown 39, Northern State 29 at Newman Arena. Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Jimmie.
At Unison Bank, we provide financial solutions for customers to meet their needs today and achieve their dreams tomorrow. From personal banking services like checking accounts, mortgage, and auto loans, to business banking services. At Unison Bank, we offer financial solutions with prompt responses and quality service. Visit unisonbank.com for more information. Located in Jamestown, Linton, and Wishick, as well as Gilbert, Arizona. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
No officials over here in your set. I get you can't look at video, but Jimmie didn't do that to himself.
No, certainly not.
Hunter Lyman's in.
Oh my goodness, they couldn't get the ball in because of the ball pressure.
Wow! And they call a timeout before they're called for the turnover.
My goodness, that is such good defense right out of a timeout.
Lyman was hounded by Heckner and others. And now a Hillerud construction timeout. We'll keep it here for this one for Northern State. They have 4 left. Jamestown still with 5. 17:40 to go on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. 39-29, Jamestown leading Northern State by 10. They have led by as much as 16.
And you look at the start of the second half. Northern State has hit 1 of their first 2. Jamestown has hit 2 of their first 3.
Well, the Jimmies are up to 41% shooting, but Northern State's also up to 41% shooting.
And points off turnovers continues to add up. It's now 21-4. That is quite the buzzer we got going.
Silas Benyon is out, and Ann Walters is. What was that buzzer?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. It sounded like the shot clock buzzer, but the shot clock was at. Anyway, Marcus Burks brings it down court for Northern State. That was odd. Here's the right wing on the angle, trying to drive on Glasgow. Spins away from him, falls away, misses. Rebound tip, but came to Will Cordes. Down floor for Cole Glasgow on Glenn. Left wing Heckner. Owen trying to ward off Ethan Russell. Fadeaway 9. Rolls in. Heckner needed that.
Talk about getting to your spot. He knew exactly where he wanted to go to get that 10-foot jumper off the front of the rim and in. And it's back to 12.
Only a second field goal. 6 for Heckner. 41-29 Jamestown. 17 minutes to go. Abdul Kareem down the right lane line. Cut out by Walters. Russell right wing angle. 3. He's good.
Only only the second for the Wolves tonight. You don't want to let them get hot.
And he's the one who's hit both of them. 41-32 Jamestown, 16:48 to go. Right wing Heckner took the pass from Glasgow. Backs up, spots up, three off the rim. All around it, Abdul Kareem the rebound. Northern State's got another 10 now. Look out. Marcus Burks up top. Obiora wants to set a screen. Now it's back out to Glenn. Made Glasgow miss and rolled off a three all the way around the rim and out. And Walters last touch that attempt for the rebound out of bounds. It will stay with NSU.
Wow, what kind of night has it been for James Glenn? That went 3/4 of the way down and came back out.
What kind of a night has it been statistically? 1 of 6, 0 of 3 on threes. Yeah, that should have been a second field goal. Obiora, after the 22nd reset, down low and just wards off lineman and says, I'm not interested in you, and scores a half hook.
A little too easy against Hunter on that one.
41-34, the Jamestown lead down to 7, 16-10 to go. Right wing Walters. Glenn hounds him. Northern State's really ramping it up defensively, but too close is Burks this time, reaching in on Glasgow. And that is Burks' third foul, and that's the first team foul of the second half on NSU.
And when Burks left the game in the first half is when Jamestown got hot. So they're going to leave him in there even with the 3 fouls.
Yeah. They're getting back into this game. They know it. Cordes, middle of the right wing, Walters. Fake the three. Burks is on him. Drives past him. Down to the goal. Rolls it in. That is just strong Anthony Walters.
What a great shot between 2 defenders. Did the little up and under and made sure he got it off.
5 for the young man from New York City. Here is down low to the baseline. Great move by Burks and a lay-in, and he's now up to 10.
They are attacking Hunter Lyman right now every time down the floor.
43-36, Jamestown leads Northern State, 4.5 minutes into the half. The second half, Cordes, middle of the right wing, it's Ant Walters. Anthony working his way past Glenn, behind the back dribble by Glasgow, and throws it too well. Cordes ended up with it in the corner. Probably not to whom it was intended. 6 on the shot clock, backing up a 3. Hector Owen hit it. Another big shot by Owen.
That's a cold-blooded shot by Owen. With the shot clock winding down, he gets the lead back to double digits.
Well, he's 2 out of his last 3 after starting 1 for 7. 46-36 Jamestown. Abdul Kareem on the right corner of the bucket to our right for Northern State. To the baseline, under the bucket, reverse score for the foul as Walters knocked him down.
Just got him with the body on the layup attempt, on the reverse layup attempt.
4 for Abdul Kareem, cuts the Jamestown lead to 46-38, 14:50 to go. Abdul Kareem at the line.
Getting a little more pace to this game. In part because Northern State is having to chase it.
Jimmie Linus back out there, along with Aiden Stainbrook, Silas Benyon, and Spencer Barr to join Anthony Walters on the floor for Jamestown. James Glenn, Juan Abdul Kareem, he's at the line now. Marcus Burks, Toby Obiora, and Ethan Russell are the 5 for Northern State. Abdul Kareem with the free throw good to complete the 3-point play. 46-39. Jamestown's lead cut to 7 again. 14:45. I told you there was a long way to go. Benyon for Jamestown at the bucket to our left. Linus a high ball screen. Now backs Russell down to the mid-left lane line. Now he takes the pass from Anthony Walters. Linus trying to drive, nearly lost the ball. Good job to retain it. Double team, look out. Right wing Barr, open 3. Bottom, Spencer.
Beautiful pass by Jimmie Linus out of the double.
Out of a lot of trouble. 49-39 Jamestown. Yeah, he nearly lost it, but Barr was where he needed to be, and he has 2 threes. Abdul Kareem bumped again by Walters as he drove down the right lane line, the 3rd on Anthony.
Well, a decision for Casey Brueggemann. He's looking at the bench, and I think he is going to make a change. He is.
Will Cordes will return. And Noah Baca re-enters for Northern State, replacing James Glenn.
If you can find a way to get Marcus Burks' 4th foul, I think you'll feel pretty good about this.
Yep. Bounce to Russell, to Obiora, top of the right wing. Here is Marcus Burks at the head of the key. Drives to the left lane line. Threw it off the glass. Obiora gained the rebound. Then he lost it, and it's picked up by Spencer Barr. Couldn't quite get the handle on that. Barr in the front court. It's a double-digit lead again for Jamestown. 13:53 left, 49-39. Benyon to the middle lane. Tries all the way. Nobody's going to defend him, so he just laid it in.
Beautiful ball fake on the three, and then he gets right to the 10.
11 for Benyon, who says, you're not going to guard me. I'll just take it right in here, man. 51-39 Jamestown. Right wing angle three, Russell. Right rim missing. Rebound, they battle for it. Along the baseline, Obiora picked it up. Left wing Burks faked the three, drove to the lane. Open is Obiora. Now Abdul Kareem, left wing three in the corner's good. Abdul Kareem with his first three tonight and his 14th of the year. 51-42. Jamestown's lead is 9. 13-13 to go. On the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard, Spencer Barr. Pass down low, got knocked away by Northern State. Jamestown will inbound got kicked. It's a new shot clock, but here comes Caleb Mitchell in for Obiora, and here comes Mike Neal back in for Ethan Russell, too, for NSU.
The one thing Jamestown has done a nice job of is not letting it get beneath 7. It's gotten to 7 a couple times, but never less than that.
Benyon into Will Cordes. Up top, left wing, it's Stainbrook. Now for Jimmie Linus and a high post, forcing Mitchell way out there. Now to Benyon. Benyon sees Mitchell, hands it to Linus. 7 on the shot clock. Out front to Barr. 5 and 4. Barr is fouled. Oh, there's the 4th on Burks. What a bailout that is. Not just because there was 4 on the shot clock, Beach, but because it's the 4th foul on Marcus Burks.
Very undisciplined foul by a good basketball player, Marcus Burks. Just had, and really he had Spencer Barr scrambling a little bit as well.
Keep your hands away from him. And Trayvon Wright, the assistant, who of course played for Saul Phillips and NDSU, may be saying that very thing right now. Benyon on the inbound. Drives, got knocked over by Baca. And Silas will go to the line. There's the 3rd on Baca in not a lot of minutes.
And really, Jamestown has been the aggressor. What I mean by that is on every possession of this second half, there has been a paint touch. And when you get the ball into the paint, good things can happen.
Benyon will have 2 free throws here, 1 for 3 tonight.
I mean, there's just a lot of numbers on our screen right now that tell a story that Jamestown has been the better basketball team.
First free throws, Lyman back in for Jimmie Linus. I can't get this points off turnover number. I'll bring that one up again. For Jamestown, 23. For Northern State, 4.
And they're doubling the Wolves up from 3, 18-9, 6 threes to 3 threes. I mean, all of these numbers tell you, yes, Jamestown should be winning this game, and they are by 10.
Obiora in for Baca for Northern State. Owen Heckner in for Aiden Stainbrook for Jamestown. There's one more free throw to Benyon to make it an 11-point lead. He's good.
Also, Hunter Lyman back in, and I'm sure that they were talking to him about post defense when he was sitting there.
And don't reach. 53-42 Jamestown. Northern State with the ball, 12 and a half to go. Glenn up top, Abdul Kareem made Benyon miss. Stopped 14, left-hand float in the lane's good. Nice move.
Nice ball fake to get Silas in the air.
That's 8.5 and 10 in the game for Abdul Kareem. 53-44 Jamestown. Northern State knocks a pass into the Jimmie bench. 27 still on the UJ shot clock. And 12:18 to go. Will Cordes will inbound right in front of Brooks Carroll. And in it comes to Silas Benyon. High ball screen Lyman. Moves left of the key. Pass deflected by Glenn. Taken in by Abdul Kareem. All the way for a layup. Too hard. Glenn missed the follow.
Wow.
Oh, 2 bunnies and neither fell. Hunter Lyman the rebound for Jamestown. 8 minutes into the half. Heckner on Obiora, he drives. Now out for Benyon. Thought about a 3. Middle left wing. Barr does take the 3. Off the rim. Lyman! The rebound. It went off of Wolf. Lyman didn't have to save that, but he still threw it off of Mitchell and out of bounds.
Mitchell gets called for the foul.
Oh, he pushed him out. Yep.
And that's already 14 fouls? 14 fouls in the second half.
And Jamestown has 3 with 11:46 to go. I don't think that trend's going to change.
No, certainly not. Especially because, I mean, the way Jamestown is getting into the painted area, there's going to be contact.
Well, Cordes in for Silas Benyon. Back for Cordes again. A three for Will coming off the front rim, and Mitchell lost the rebound after he had perfect position.
What a play by Hunter Lyman to make sure to get another possession for UJ. Wow.
Lyman just bothered him enough that Mitchell dropped it. So the shot clock at 20, and inbound will be barred. Left corner, closely guarded is Benyon, and reaching around him and fouling him is Mike Nehall of Northern State, is second.
I do not know why there was such shock on his face at being called for that foul. It was right in front of us, and it was the most foul of all time.
You reach around and you hit a guy.
It's going to get called.
Yeah, or at least it should. Portis with an inbound on the left corner to Heckner to Silas Benyon. Once a Heckner screen, now passes it out to Owen, top of the key. Heckner with a three is coming, and it's short. And the rebound, Benyon couldn't run it down. Abdul Kareem did for Northern State. 3-on-3. Kareem all the way to the glass, scores, pass.
Here's that number again.
Yep.
It's down to 7 again. And here's that number.
12 in the game, 10 and a half for Quat Abdul Kareem, the sophomore from Lincoln, Nebraska. Cat Dax hometown timeout, Jamestown. With 11:06 left, still a lot of game to go. The lead cut again by Northern State 2-7. Jamestown 53, Northern State 46 on Jamestown 107.1.
Johnny B's Brickhouse, famous for their pizza, but wait, there's pasta, and their amazing wings, and fresh ground hamburgers, tasty salads and appetizers too. And for dessert, you can't beat their sweet sticks. Come on out for Tuesday night trivia and live entertainment every Thursday night. The place to be is Johnny B's, smack dab in the middle of Main Street, downtown Jamestown. And remember, for delivery and carryout, call 952-8777.
Northern State enough of a chance with the Jimmies up by 7.
With man-to-man on the inbound on the front court, thrown to the backcourt from Cordes to Silas Benyon. Back on the front court now, left wing to Heckner. Pass to Nehall, right wing, threw the ball away, but it was deflected by Northern State into the Jamestown bench. 11 on the UJ shot clock now.
Very aggressive switching on those screens out of that timeout by Northern.
The inbound will be by Cole Glasgow. Tightly by Nehall, he guards him. Now to Heckner up top to Benyon. 7 to shoot, 6. Left corner, Cordes into the lane. Fade away over Abdul Kareem, misses, and up there for the rebound is Caleb Mitchell for Northern State. 10:35 left. Well, it's 53-46 Jamestown now, and now Northern State can really make this as tight as it's been in a long time. Mike Nehall, right wing. Abdul Kareem, right of the lane. Spins. Mitchell on a high post, and a look down low. Nehall too far into the bucket, blocked out of bounds by Lyman.
First off, it's a great cut, and then it's a very heads-up play by Lyman to get to the baseline and swat that all the way to Carrington.
Making Northern State reset it with 8 on the shot clock. Baca's back in. Noah Baca. Anthony Walters in for Jamestown. James Glenn will trigger the inbound, and Mitchell back to Glenn, right on the lane, drives in, reverse, too soft, missed it. Hunter Lyman squeezing it with both hands, gained the rebound. Down floor to Owen Heckner, nearly the midway point of the second half. Jamestown leads Northern State 53-46. Cordes, baseline, tried it up and under, got blocked. Lyman, however, grabbed it and got fouled. How about the work the Jimmies are doing on the offensive glass?
Great job by Hunter Lyman on the offensive glass. That wasn't a foul on the Cordes drive?
Apparently not. But this was a foul on Caleb Mitchell. He is third. So they got one anyway.
They did.
But that's 16 fouls now in Northern State midway through the half. Hunter Lyman with 2 free throws, and he hit the first.
I tell you what, Hunter has come back in off the bench and really asserted himself in the post. Done a nice job these last 2 minutes.
3 points for him now. He's 3 out of 6 at the line. One more on the way and short, and rebounded by Abdul Kareem. 54-46 Jamestown leads. We've just passed the midway point of the second half on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard at Harold Newman Arena. Noah Baca on left wing for Northern State. Middle of the left wing, Quad Abdul Kareem. On Glasgow with a spin left of the baseline, then a fadeaway. Wild shot, he hit it. I don't know how, but he hit it. Abdul Kareem is having a red-hot half with 12 and 14 in the game.
He's been the biggest reason for this comeback. Remember, it was 116. It's now 6.
54-48 Jamestown. 9:25 go. Jimmie's could use a hoop. Glasgow left wing for Owen Heckner. Owen stops left of the foul line. 16 didn't go. Tipped by Glasgow and in. What a rebound by Cole.
Well done by Cole getting in position, and then he just tips it back off the glass.
His second bucket and 4th point. 56-48 Jamestown. That was a super play. Glenn to the baseline drive over Lyman. A very tough shot is in for just the second bucket of the game for James Glenn.
High off the glass with the offhand. That's well done.
56-50 Jamestown, and with the ball leading Northern State by 6. Right wing Glasgow, nearly traveled, came to the lane, nearly traveled again. Left wing Cordes. Will driving on Noah Baca, left of the lane, to the left baseline. Under him, and drew Baca's 4th foul.
And free throws the rest of this basketball game for Jamestown as we hit the media break.
With 8:41 to go, a Hillerud construction timeout. Yep, we do have a game again at Harold Newman Arena. It's Jamestown 56, Northern State 50 on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Jimmies.
The Jamestown Country Club wants to thank you for a great season that lasted so far into the fall. It's never too early to think about next year's season, though. Hey, make it a Christmas present for that golfer in your life. Buy one today and have the best gift taken care of for the season. Contact the Jamestown Country Club at jcc58401@gmail.com and request your gift registration today. Have a happy holiday season from the Jamestown Country Club.
Most of the numbers here in the second half have tightened. The rebounding is now +3 Jamestown. Points in the paint are actually +4 Northern State. And because of it, 56-50, but we're going to see free throws out of this timeout. And now, David, you mentioned how UJ is a 73% free throw shooting team in the conference. That's the best, 73rd in the country. If they can hit their free throws, they're going to be in a really nice spot at the end of this game because they should get a lot of looks.
The last time this game was this close, there were just under 9 minutes to go in the first half. It was 19-13. It is 56-50 for Jamestown now.
And at that point, Jamestown would score the 16 of the next 22.
Well, Cordes 1-1. He is 2 of 2 at the line tonight. For the year, he's out there with Anthony Walters, Jimmie Linus, Spencer Barr, and Cole Glasgow. Front end, he's good.
When David says he's pretty good at the free throw line, this guy, there's a rim up there. He's not interested.
Over 80% for his career as a Jimmie. He'll have another. It's 57-50 Jamestown. On the way, on the board.
Just does not even bother with the rim. It's all net. That's amazing.
58-50 Jamestown, 8:39 left. I don't know how those guys do that. Toby Obiora, Quad Abdul Kareem, James Glenn, Marcus Burks back on the floor with 4 fouls, and Ethan Russell, the 5 for Northern State. Here comes Burks to the left baseline. Out for Abdul Kareem. He's had the hot hand in this half. Tries another 3 over Bard. Hit it again. Goodness.
15 and a half for the outstanding Abdul Kareem.
17 for the game. It is now 58-52 Jamestown. Pass to Anthony Walters, middle of the left wing. Up top, Cole Glasgow. Handed to Spencer Barr. Into the lane is Barr. He traveled. Yeah. Couldn't stop the pivot foot. Looking for someone to pass to. Northern State has it back.
Still 8 minutes left. I mean, there's plenty of time for this to go a bunch of different ways, but right now you'd have to say the momentum is with the Wolves.
As long as they give the ball to Abdul Kareem, it certainly should be. It's back to Glenn. Only 4 for him tonight after his 34. He dropped the ball, and right there, the pick it up is Burks. He scored 34 against Dak State. Left wing, an open three. Obiora is off the right rim. He actually shot it long. I don't think that's the shot they wanted.
Not at all.
Glasgow down floor with the rebound to Barr. Down to Walters for Jamestown. Up top to Jimmie Linus. Cordes, right wing, touch pass. Down to Linus, got knocked away. And then out of bounds off Jimmie. Good play there. Obiora and Abdul Kareem combined to make Linus turn it over.
Well, now, let me just say this. If Toby Obiora wants to take that three, you let him. Because that was, you said it right. That's not even close to what they're looking for in that possession.
He's 0 for 5 for the year. 58-52 Jamestown, though. The lead's down to 6, and Northern State has it. Glenn with an Obiora screen. Right wing on the angle. Between the rings, it is Brooks. Burks, left wing. Oh, and Abdul Kareem trying another three. This one long. He actually missed one. And then Benyon with a rebound, and James Glenn's holding him. About as obvious a foul as you can get is the first on Glenn, and team foul number 8. And Silas is going to go to the foul line here.
My goodness, that was, well, and you do it right in front of the official.
And 70 feet from the bucket, too. Yep. What's he doing?
Not a good foul at all by James Glenn.
Benyon missed his first 2. He's made his last 3. He has 13 points. It's the front end of the 1-and-1, and he's good. And Jamestown is now 13 of 17 at the line and leads 59-52 with 7:18 left on the Gunner Reel Sports scoreboard.
They've gotten to the line twice as much as the Wolves. That's another good sign.
One more for Benyon. Good again. 15 for Silas after 19 in Minot on Thursday. 60-52 Jamestown leading Northern State. 7:13 left. February 20, 1948 was the last time the Jimmies beat the Wolves in men's basketball. Travel Glenn. It's not his night so far.
My grandma was 7 years old. There's your perspective. My grandma was 7.
My mother was 9. Boy, it's been a while, but it's not over yet. 7 minutes still to go. Benyon into the front court. Handed it from the top of the right wing to Owen Hector. To Jimmie Linus on a high post. To Cordes, weaving the left wing, it is Hector. Russell guards him to Anthony Walters. Hasn't had a whole lot of looks at the bucket tonight. They know what he's done in the first 3 of the first 4 anyway. 9 on the shot clock. Cordes, dangerous pass. Good play there by Glenn to knock it down and steal it. Left wing, Russell, long 3 off the back rim. A 26-footer that he shot long. Walters with a running rebound. Down floor, drives, layup right past Glenn. He's good.
And how about that, David? It gets right back up to 10 for UJ, and
7 for Walters.
Some sort of a warning against the bench.
Yeah, saying.
And a timeout, Northern State.
Yeah. The Jimmie bench stands up a lot. The officials have to ask them to sit down a lot. And it is a Saul Phillips and Northern State Hillerud Construction timeout. 6:25 left. Jamestown trying to pull it off. They lead Northern State 62-52. I'm Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Jimmies.
Why choose Professional Eye Care Centers? 3 great reasons are Dr. Bond, Dr. Freilich, and Dr. Jangula. 3 of the most educated professional optometrists you'll ever meet. Next is their many locations. You can now see one of their spectacular doctors in Jamestown, Valley City, Carrington, Edgeley, Ellendale, and Lemoore. And finally, their fantastic selection. And yes, all of their frames and lenses are backed up by warranty. Visit ProEyeCareCenters.com and make an appointment today. Professional Eye Care Centers, clearly the best.
What did you see about this morning?
Well, I think it's going, and we see an event at the sports table right now. I think it's going to be rescinded because what happened was Saul Phillips was on the floor to try and, it got a little loud in here. He wanted to make sure the officials knew we wanted a timeout. So Casey came onto the court, and the baseline official warned Casey, but the baseline official could not have possibly seen that Coach Phillips wanted the timeout. So I think it should get rescinded.
And I think that's the discussion. And yeah, you're right. You can't put any blame on the baseline official for that. He can't see everything.
But a good burst here by the Jimmies to get it back to 10.
Yep, couple buckets in a row, or at least 4 points in a row. And they keep getting to the line. And remember, Northern State has 18 fouls. Jamestown has only 3 with 6:25 left. There is another good change for this team, which has gotten itself in foul trouble at times early on. Marcus Burks for Northern State. Left wing to Noah Baca. He's playing with 4 fouls. Well, so's Burks. Out front, Abdul Kareem. Very hard screen. Russell got away possibly with a foul there. It's out to Burks again with 10 on the shot clock. Fakes, backs up. 3, rimmed out. Rebound tip. Trying to run it down Benyon. Abdul Kareem did, and Benyon knocked him down for his second foul.
Casey Brueggemann doesn't like it, but it's one of those loose balls. You're both going after it. It's an effort foul. A coach is never going to dislike an effort foul. Fourth team foul on Jamestown. 15 for Benyon, 14 for Linus to lead Jamestown, but Juan Abdul Kareem for Northern State leads all scorers with 17. 5:57 left. Marcus Burks for the Wolves. Left baseline. Hands it out to Baca. Open for a moment. Now past Benyon. 15-footer at the free throw line. Misses. Rebound. Lost out of bounds by Toby Obiore. It goes to Jamestown. 5:48 remains. 62-52. Jamestown over Northern State with B.J. Walters. David Burrell at Harold Newman Arena. So glad to have you with us. Remember, you can watch this game at the Jimmie Athletics YouTube channel. And it's been a fun game to watch. Sure has.
Linus on a high post, working on Obiora. When's Mitchell going to get back in there? Lob for Linus again. Left wing open, wide open. 3, Cordes off the rim, and Obiora the rebound.
Good look.
Nobody within 15 feet of Will. Marcus Burks front court for Northern State. Stops left wing Obiora. Wants another 3. Oh, he nailed it. His first of the year. Nothing but net.
Wow. I guess you're going to have to guard him now.
I'll teach you to talk bad about his three-point shooting.
That's right.
62-55 Jamestown. 5:08 left. Linus knocked over. Yeah, it's got to be a foul. Yeah, it is.
That's the last of the 1-and-1 fouls, too.
A little late. But then it came on Obiora, and that is his second. Yes, it is the 19th foul. Linus at the line where he was 2 out of 3 at the half, in the first half. James Glenn, not very long a rest. He's back in there to replace Ethan Russell.
That thing I said on Tuesday night about this will probably turn into the NSIC rivalry. With a game like this, it will definitely turn into the rivalry for Jamestown.
They play again in December 16th, and we'll be there. Well, I'll be there. First free throw for Linus is good. Yeah, you've got something else going on there.
I'll be in Devil's Lake.
Yep. 63-55 Jamestown. 15 for Linus. 5:05 left.
Us broadcasters, we're goofy. We memorize our schedules.
You're starting to frighten me a little bit. Second one, good. Boy, Linus is having a good game. 16 points.
5 rebounds, only 2 fouls. Just really good stuff from Jimmie tonight.
That's a big key to keep that guy out of foul trouble. 64-55 Jamestown. Baca on the right wing for Northern State. Obiora, yeah, now he's hit a 3, but doesn't take one here. Now he sets a screen for Abdul Kareem. Left wing Burks, open. He wants a 3. It rolls around the rim and missing. Rebound tip came to Owen Heckner for Jamestown. 4:40 left. February 20, 1948. Silas Benyon. It's not over yet, but the Jimmies are looking to be in better shape. Walters, top of the right wing with a Linus screen. Right wing Will Cordes. Bounce to Linus. Jimmie, baseline.
What a
reverse layup. Benyon, beautiful, and scores.
What a cut by Silas Benyon. Nobody had eyes on him, and he took the back door.
17 for him. 66-55 Jamestown. Abdul Kareem drives to the rim, got fouled. Quat to the line for 2. That's Linus, and that's his 3rd.
So, David, you and I were seeing it. The moment Jimmie caught the ball, you could see his eyes go towards Silas. They knew, and nobody wearing black knew. Silas just back cuts, and a perfect pass from Jimmie for the layup.
You can tell they practice that play a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Abdul Kareem, the big half he's having. He's 1 for 2 at the line tonight. 15 and a half, 17 for the game, and he hit the first. 66-56, Jamestown by 10. 4:08 left, and here again comes Caleb Mitchell. More size for NSU, replacing Noah Baca.
And in 2024, you better have a big man that can make that pass. I mean, basketball is that's where we're at right now.
Abdul Kareem hit them both. 66-57, 4:08 left. Jamestown by 9 at Harold Newman Arena. over, again, the 1-3 record belies that this is a good team. Benyon down the left lane line. Stopped well by Abdul Karim. Reached in, knocked it away for a moment. Benyon regained it. Silas, now he's double team in big trouble. He's able to find Heckner. 12 on the shot clock. Owen stops in the lane. Dishes it out to Walters. 7 to shoot. Down the right side. Ober-Gwen. Banks misses. Tip long one to Benyon. Jimmy's can start over.
I don't think the shot clock should have reset. And I think we're going to be at about 1 on the timer.
You don't think that hit the rim?
No, it did not. I don't think it did.
My 4 eyes might be deceiving me then. Yep, they have reset the shot clock to 4.
Yeah.
And you may be right. It may need to be lower than that.
Oh, I think so. Because it was at 4 when the shot went up.
Yeah.
It's at 3. Okay.
I think that's still too much.
It probably is. But you work on this every day at practice.
Right.
3 to shoot from the front court. Step 1, someone's got to come inbound.
Boy, the Jimmies can get a bucket out of this.
Oh, yeah.
How big would it be? Portis just to our left will inbound. 3:39 left. 66-57 Jamestown. Got to work fast. Get it into Heckner. 2-1.
Oh, my goodness.
He got knocked down by Mitchell, and it's 3 free throws for Owen Heckner. And
you can't commit
Saul
that foul.
Phillips cannot believe what Caleb Mitchell just did.
You can't commit that foul in that spot because the shot that was going up was a rushed shot. I'm sorry, you just can't have that as a head coach.
To be blunt, first free throw, but that's just not a right foul.
No, it's not.
Heckner hit him both.
Now, if you're UJ, you'll take it.
Well, I guess. 67-57 for James. 3:37 left. Second to 3 for Heckner. Good again.
And I'll bet when they're in film study, whenever that is, I'm guessing Monday, they go through that possession and Casey calls it a disaster that ended up being 3 free throws.
It's out now for Ethan Russell. Saul Phillips is coaching. Jimmy's 11 of 12 at the line on the half. Make it 12 of 13 as Heckner hit all 3.
Saul Phillips was not happy with him at all.
He's up to 12. 69-57 Jamestown. 3:30 left. 1948. Burks from Northern State. To the left lane line. Guarded well by Cordes. Dishes it out to Abdul Karim. They want him to keep shooting, you know it. And he's caught by Walters.
You had one to get.
Except that it's Walters' 4th foul. But it is team foul number 6. We're down to 3:17 left in the 4th quarter. Or in the second half, I should say. One of these days, they'll make men's basketball 4 quarters, or at least they should. But that's neither here nor there. James Glenn will inbound. We're not doing a talk show here, David. It's into Burks. Obiora with a side screen. Now gives it to Toby. Works on Linus down the right lane line. Nice move, and Toby scores.
Real good move right there to just get right by Jimmy.
He averages 7.8 early. He has 15. 69-59 Jamestown. 2:58 to go in the second half at Harold Newman Arena. Benyon being hounded by Abdul Karim. A screen by Linus. He has to work on 2 guys. Left wing, it's Cordes. Bounce. Linus drives. Jimmy Jam!
Beautiful
18.
offense.
18 for Linus. 71-59 Jamestown. That pass was exquisite. Left wing Obiora, baseline, hacked by Benyon. Missed the shot, but Obiora has 2. And the foul with 2:31 left. It's the 17th foul, but it's 2 free throws here for Obiora. 2 for 3 tonight.
Right now, you just want to see good offensive possessions.
First one rolls in for Obiora, and he's had quite a half. He has 16 for the night, and he has 14 in this half. So he and Abdul Karim have been most of the Northern State offense. 71-60 Jamestown. 2:31 left. The second rolled off the rim. Rebound tap ended up in Linus' hands, and it ends up in a dual possession. And the arrow points to Northern State. There's a little bit of a break for the Wolves, but a good play too. And Saul Phillips wants a 30-second Hillerud Construction timeout for Northern State. Let's keep it here. 2.5 minutes left. We are at the finish now, and the Jimmies trying to hang on for their first win in 76 and 3/4 years against Northern State. Still game to go. 71-60 Jamestown. The Jimmies, as we'll reset things here, have 18 from Jimmie Linus. 5 boards, 19 for Quan Abdul Kareem is leading Northern State. So it's 10 team fouls on Northern State, double bonus for the Jimmies. 17 fouls for Jamestown, the 1-1 bonus for Northern State. 2:30 left. The possession arrow will change after this inbound to go to Jamestown. And Northern State's just called their next to last timeout. Only 1 to go. Jamestown still has 4.
And David, if you play this right offensively, when you have the basketball for UJ, you're taking 25 seconds of clock each time you have the ball. Possessions are limited here.
20 on the shot clock as it comes into Obiora. Left baseline, driving on Linus. Got a hand on it and missed it. Rebounded Cordes. How about that D?
Really nice job by Jimmie Linus. He is playing a great game, David.
2:16 to go. And he took a shot in the mouth for his trouble, too. And he's, other than that, a fabulous night. Bounce to Linus from Heckner. Walters lost it briefly, regained it. 2:03 to left, 10 on the shot clock. Benyon screened by Linus. 8 on the timer. Linus straight away. Now left wing. Benyon made a man miss, but he traveled.
Well, you still took 27 seconds off the timer. That's okay. By the way, if you take tonight's game and combine it with Thursday, Jimmie Linus is now 14 of his last 16 from the field.
Yep. Because he is 7 for 7 tonight. 13th Jamestown turnover. 1:53 left. Still only 4 points in this game off turnovers for Northern State. Burke's trying to increase that, but it turned out. Ooh, rebound by Jimmie Linus. 1:41 left. Now Northern State's got to start fouling, and Burke's just fouled out.
Burke's just 2 of 8 on the night. 4 points, a rebound, and 2 assists, and now he's gone.
And a lot of frustration.
It was the moment that he had to sit in the first half where Jamestown kind of took over this game.
Well, this kid's a freshman in his 5th college game. That's how you learn. Owen Heckner will go to the line. Noah Baca's back in. Heckner's perfect. 5 for 5. The Jimmies are 19 of 23. First, good. 72-60 Jamestown. 101 seconds to go on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. They're both good for Owen.
A good night from the charity stripe.
14. Make it 21 of 25. 73-60 Jamestown. Glenn has to shoot a 3 straight away. Missed. Linus another rebound. That's number 6. To Benyon with 90 seconds left. It's looking a lot better for the Jimmies now. Bounce to Heckner front court. Foul by Abdul Kareem. His first, but it's 2 more for Owen at the line, and the Jimmies are saying, fine, keep fouling us, we'll keep sinking these free throws.
An awfully impressive performance tonight. Like you mentioned, the win over UMary. That comes with a grain of salt because UMary's not any real contender in the NSIC. This is a good basketball team that they have led pretty much wire to wire. There was one time they were behind by 1 point.
Heckner 8 of 8 at the line now as he hit the first. 74-60 Jamestown. 1:25 left. February 20, 1948. They're both good. If you're just joining us and wonder why I keep saying that, that was the last time Jamestown beat Northern State in men's basketball. Obiora drives all the way to the goal. They'll let him go, and he scores. Obiora now has 18. And the inbounds pass on some pressure, knocked out of bounds by Northern State. 1:14 left. Jamestown 75. Northern State 62.
The balance. Linus 18, 17 Benyon, 16 Heckner. Love to see that.
Cordes will inbound from, as we look at it, the right sideline near the corner. Long down floor. Benyon beat everybody. Down and a layup, and good night, Wolves. 77-62 Jamestown. 1:05 left. Glenn in the right corner. Not much Northern State can do now. Russell in the lane with a jumper. It's no good. It's knocked out of bounds by Jamestown, but only 56.7 to go. And win number 3 is going to be the biggest so far for this young man in his 7th game as a head coach. It is Obiora on the baseline. Pump with Linus. Out to Baca. Right wing Glenn. Three's coming off the rim. Linus another rebound. 45 seconds left. And a whistle to have a Jamestown free throw again because, well, what do we have here? Jamestown called the Hillary Construction timeout. We'll keep it here with 45 and a half seconds to go. And yeah, they'll see these guys again every year starting next year, but there's no understating how big this win is.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the rapid improvement just from the first home game against Briarcliff through facing now this run of NSIC opponents. This team's getting a lot better, and boy, when December 13th does show up, I think they're going to be more than ready for NSAA play.
And won't Friday be interesting? Well, would be anyway, but the Jimmies are going to take this win into meeting last year's D2 national champs. Minnesota State will join you from Sioux Falls, 11:30 a.m. on Friday here on Jamestown 107.1, and then Augustana also in Sioux Falls at 12:30 Saturday.
And two teams that are top 6 contenders in the NSIC year in and year out. Of course, Minnesota State, the defending national champions. But this is going to be an awfully sweet one for Casey.
You know it.
With their future travel partners in the NSIC. I mean, this is just a really, really nice one to get here at home.
Well, you got to hit your free throws, and they were put into the bonus Jamestown pretty early, and they're 23 of 27 tonight. That means they are 16 of 17 in the second half of this game. Cordes out to Benyon. Jimmy's just will freeze it here. They don't have to shoot again.
What a pass.
Down to Walters, and Benyon was near the timeline. And now a bump by Abdul Kareem on Cordes with 27.7 seconds to go is his second.
This is exactly the kind of, not just result, but performance you want to take into facing MSU, Mankato, and Augustana.
Well, there was big disappointment here earlier today, but this is delight for Jimmie fans tonight. Cordes hit the free throw. He's 5 of 5 tonight for all his points. 78-62 Jamestown. This is for their longest lead of the game. He's good. 79-62 Jamestown. 27 seconds left. I'm not saying this team's going to win the NSIC or anything like that, but this is a good 1-4 team, I'm telling you. Brook into the front court. Devin Brook back in. His jumper rolled in. With 18 seconds left, the Jimmies, with the shot clock off, don't have to shoot again. Stop fouling, Northern State, please. Pass to Linus. Yeah, they will stop fouling. It's back to Heckner for the first time since 1948. The Jamestown Jimmies have beaten the Northern State Wolves in men's basketball. Put it in the record book, baby, and ring that victory bell. The biggest win in the very young coaching career for Casey Brueggemann, and the biggest win for the Jimmies in the regular season in quite a bit as they knock off Northern State's Wolves.
Very good performance, very good win. All of those little things that coaches talk about, they did them all well tonight. Well done by the Jimmies, and yeah, those who have been in this building all day get to go home with a little better feeling than they did earlier.
You out-rebound them, you take advantage of a team that basically in this day and age starts 5 guards, you out-rebound them by 9, you get them in some foul trouble, and my goodness, a big win for Jamestown. And a lot of these fans are standing, as all the Jimmies, as they do after every game, come to midcourt and have one last little thought and prayer together as the victory bell does ring here at Harold Newman Arena. And this will start our RM Stout post-game show. We'll visit with head coach Casey Brueggemann in just a moment. Want to see if we can visit with someone else too. Maybe Jimmie, maybe Silas, but let's see if we can do that, because one of them deserves to be talked to after this performance. A team that there was not bad play, but a little frustration with how Sioux Falls played. Again, a pretty good team. Again, not horrible play, but again, you're going against a good Minot State team, and that's going to be, and Casey says it, and I think it too, a top 25 team indeed too, and Minot State ended up winning. And again, yeah, you're not going against maybe a contender, but you're going against still what I think is going to be a pretty good team eventually in Northern State, and you beat them by 15 at home.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a good win for so many reasons. You know, you're coming off that disappointing start, but you felt like you played well after the start on Thursday. This was fantastic.
79-64, the final score for Jamestown over Northern State on the Gun and Reel Sports scoreboard.
This is a team that is picked 13th in the NSIC, but they're in amongst a bunch of teams who are real closely packed, so who knows?
And again, they're not a bad team, and you're beating a Division II team, and whenever that happens, it's something special. Coming up, more in our RM Stout postgame show. We'll have some interviews for you. We'll look at the numbers too after Jamestown's 79-64 victory over Northern State. On Jamestown 107.1, this is the voice of the Jimmies.
Before you can start building a business, you have to have great builders. Delivered Construction is a builder of high-quality commercial buildings, and they're hiring talented labor and carpenters to help them do just that. Vacation, holiday, 401k, and health insurance benefits for full-time employees, plus great pay depending on experience. Apply at 1008 2nd Avenue Southeast, Jamestown, or visit InwoodConstruction.com. Visit InwoodConstruction.com and let's get building.
Jamestown 79, Northern State 64. As the Jimmies come up with a big win. Can you hear us now, Silas? Is that better? All right.
All right.
Silas Benyon is with us. How good does this win feel?
It's great. First home dub of the year, so couldn't feel much better than that.
And to beat an NCAA Division II team, and again, you're going to see these guys one more time this year, and you're going to start playing them in the future. But and again, I'll say they're 1-4. This is not a bad team, especially for 1-4. It's a good team you beat tonight.
Yes, sir. Yeah, all respect to all the NSIC teams we played, and they challenge us every night for sure.
You are challenged too to play defense all the time. I know it's something your coach really stresses, but I thought more so than any time early part in this season, I think the way you guys' defense really showed through tonight. What was being stressed going into this game?
Yeah, we stress team defense because we know we have to play it. We play in a lot of great athletes and dudes that are bigger, faster, stronger at a lot of positions, so we know we have to really work together.
And, I mean, you guys out-rebound Northern State by 9. If you just look at the two teams, there's no way you guys should be out-rebounding them. So how important was that in this game to, dominate the backboards?
Yeah. If you look at our past 2 games, I believe, I'm pretty sure we lost the rebounding battles by a big margin. So, again, just stressing, hey, we got to box out every dude. They're crashing hard, and we got to gain rebound as a whole team.
Now, you go through this again these 2 games coming, especially playing Minnesota State on Friday. This is the kind of challenge you guys want, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting better every day, every game.
Because conference play's not too far away, and these sort of games help you get ready for that, no doubt.
Yeah, no, the North Star got some great teams, and so does the NSIC, and they're definitely making us prepare and play our best basketball to stay in the games and compete.
31 minutes for Silas Benyon, 19.6 of 9 shooting, 2 of 5 threes, 5 of 7 at the line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Just another Silas Benyon night. I know he doesn't take it for granted, and we're trying not to either. But great job again, Silas. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you on Thursday.
Yes.
Silas Benyon, as He, several others, did quite a job tonight, and about to join us is well, this guy's always smiling, head coach Casey Brueggemann, but he has earned the smile he has on his face tonight. And we were just talking with Silas, and you and I have talked about it about every conversation we've had. Defend well, rebound well. I'll say your team did that tonight.
Really proud of our defensive effort, holding them 25 of 60 from the field, 4 of 20 from three-point line. And, we give up some offensive rebounds there late, but they're in scramble mode. They're on all out trying to get rebounds. So I thought we did a good job there. Really proud of our guys that continue to battle. This Division II non-conference schedule we have is no joke. It's no joke. And every night, our guys got to be ready for it. And I'm proud of how they fought tonight.
Tell me about, I shouldn't tell you to do anything. Please tell me about Heckner. And again, it wasn't the best shooting night for him, but he kept penetrating. He kept getting to the line in the second half, and he didn't miss one at the line all night. If he's not going to have a great night shooting, that's still the kind of night you want from him, I know.
I'm really proud of Owen. He's got an opportunity to play more minutes than he ever has in his career, and he's learning to play well every minute of those that he gets out there. And for him to not shoot it well in the first half and respond in the second half how he did, making free throws down the stretch for us, and then being smart with the basketball. Only one turnover, and like you said, he was creating a lot for us. He was penetrating in, getting a paint touch, kick out, and thought he played great. I thought we had a lot of guys play great too.
Coach, 23 to 4 points off turnovers. You forced, 13 turnovers, and you got 23 points off of them. That tells me two things. They're live ball turnovers, and you're converting on almost all of them.
That's a great stat. I'm proud of our defense there for locking in, and we had a lot of deflections when they tried to go in a ball screen, and we're able to get out and run. I hope that our guys always in this program feel empowered to get out and play basketball. We want them to be players. We want them to be in the open floor, and they're learning to make better decisions when they're in the open floor. I think this is a little bit different than we had 3 weeks ago against Briar Cliff, where there's a lot of turnovers, a lot of bad shots, and our guys are learning how to play together, and that's the process. We've kind of tried to mention from the beginning we want to be playing our best basketball in the second half of the year, and we're getting better every night out.
And to that point, I mean, we made mention of it several times during the broadcast. Even when you were missing shots, the offense looked really crisp tonight.
And it just takes time. It takes time for guys to gel. We have a lot of new guys playing, and guys playing in a completely new system. So they're getting a feel for each other and how to play together. And we played a tough schedule, and these teams have forced us to grow. Because if you don't, you're going to continue to struggle. And our guys have taken that challenge, they've embraced it, and they've gotten better every game. So that's been fun to see.
Well, and speaking of tough, we look forward to Friday, and it doesn't get any tougher possibly than the defending national champs of last year. But as we talked about, this is why you wanted to put these games on the schedule, to get to play a team like Mankato and show them what you've got.
What an awesome opportunity for our program to go down to Augustana. I'm appreciative of Coach Schilling for getting us down there for that tournament and going to be playing Mankato and Augustana. It'll be great. We're definitely going to enjoy this one. I told the guys post-game that I always care way more about the type of people they are. And we had all 32 members of our program over at the Special Olympics basketball tournament today. That was a state tournament in town, and we had them over. We said, we're going to watch film, we're going to walk through quick, and then we're going to head down to that to cheer on those athletes. And I told the guys after the game, it's way more important the type of person you are and how you treat people and how hard you work. And, obviously it's a lot more fun when you win. So we're going to enjoy that, but it's always about growing both on and off the court.
Well, if you want to know what type of young men these are, Casey just gave you a great example of the sort of thing they did today to watch. That's tremendous. Happy Thanksgiving, although we will see you on Thanksgiving, and looking forward to this trip to Sioux Falls, and go enjoy this one.
Can't wait, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Casey Brueggemann, the Jimmie's head coach, an outstanding effort by his team tonight at Sioux State 79-64, and I'm continuing to enjoy saying this. This is the first time since February 20, 1948, that the Jimmies have beaten Northern State in men's basketball, and that's going to make that matchup down at the Barnett Center on December 16th even more delicious.
With a big crowd, too, because, again, this is a program that continuously every year has the biggest crowds in Division II, so it's going to be a great atmosphere for the rematch. But just to echo what Casey said, they should enjoy this one. This was a very professional very solid performance.
We'll look at all the numbers in a moment, but I'll give you Linus line here, too. 18 points on 7